And at this time, we'd like to welcome, representing the chamber members, is Mr. Hicks. For the 2021 season, your Batavia Muckdogs were awarded the Ontario Business Award. We welcome owner Robbie.
And with that, we are back live here at Dwyer Field. Do apologize. Stream issues with the streaming service. A lot of red tape and things to get around, but thankfully we were able to get YouTube up and running, ready for tonight's game. Everything is done and dusted, and it looks like we are getting ready to go with the first pitch and other activities. I'm Taylor Storthy, and you're watching the Elmira Pioneers YouTube channel. You might notice it is in a different spot. That is because with the broadcasting transition, we've had to make a few changes. Top of the inning set and ready to go in just a few minutes. We already mentioned that last night, Batavia Muckdogs traveled to Elmira and won against our Pioneers. It was Noah Sparks getting the win and Xander Birch credited with the loss. Pioneers have a chance to rebound tonight as they face off against Batavia Muckdogs. They are getting ready to go. And we will be ready very shortly as we will let you know the defensive lineup, Batavia, and the hitting order for the Elmira Pioneers. Applause around the arena. We're finally getting ready to go with some Pioneers baseball. Tonight they're going to lead off as the road team. And again, we've had a lot of issues getting everything set up, so we apologize. But we're ready to go with the first inning. Now, of course, this is a road game, but for home games this season, you're going to want to get season tickets. So, make sure you purchase them and call 607-734-2690 for those tickets. Now, tonight, for Batavia, Tyler Prospero is on the mound. He's a turning Muckdog and gets the start for Game 2 of the Muckdog season here at home. In the field, Alec Mack completes the battery as the catcher. Tyler Cano plays at first. Brian Fry at second. Jerry Reinhardt at third. Caleb Rodriguez makes a debut after being a pinch hitter yesterday at short. Meanwhile, Danny Burroway is at left. Gavin Schrader at center field. Levis Aguia in right. Brian Bello starts again as the DH. And Alex Torres is the extra hitter. For Elmira, the batting order, leading off is Joseph Olsavsky, followed by Joe Muzio. Then, Aiden Blake makes a debut hitting in the third spot. Bobby Marsh is batting fourth. Ethan Herrera batting fifth. Jonathan Haynes batting sixth. Gil Murad batting seventh. Janae Vaughn batting eighth. Schneider batting ninth. And Zachary Odom batting 10th. But it's Olsavsky leading off today. Playing at shortstop one more time. Yesterday, a quiet day to plate for him. He went 0 for 4. And again, hopefully we're getting people tuning in. And thank you for tuning in and just sticking with us while all these issues have been going on. But thankfully, we've still got a stream up and running now on youtube.com, ready to go for more Pios baseball. Olsavsky looking for his first hit of the season here. Sparrow ready to go. First pitch. Fouled away. Strike one.
1490, 100.1 FM first pitch. 44.
From the stretch, here's the 0-1 to Olsavsky. That is high, so the count will go even now. Olsavsky was on the All-AOC first team and wants to continue his hot strength here. The Perfect Game Collegiate League. That one's going to be grounded. Gets into the outfield as it bounces around. And Olsavsky gets his first hit of the season. A leadoff single for Olsavsky. The Pioneers open up with a base runner.
51, Joe
Muzio steps up here with a runner on and no outs. That's a great start for the Pioneers. They were slow out of the gate early on, getting their first base runner via hit by pitch later in the game. But now they get a runner on to open here, and I wonder what Joe Muzio will do. Swing and a miss. That's going to be strike one. The changeup fooled Joe Muzio. Muzio has seen some tough competition throughout his season, playing at Eckerd in the Sunshine State Conference, which featured two teams that got to the South Region Super Regional. Rollins and Tampa faced off, both of whom were opponents for Eckerd College. There it's going to be a short grounder picked up by the pitcher, and Prospero's just going to keep it himself, but it'll do a job to advance the runner. As Olsavsky now heads over to second with one out.
Third, second, 4, 8.
Aiden Blake is now up here. A runner on second and one out. It is a dangerous situation. You wonder, maybe Coach Drum is going to want to send a runner, try to get him onto third with one out. That can also be a very dangerous thing to do. Blake is making his debut. He was on the All-Little East second team, had 311, 6 home runs, and 24 RBIs in the college season. A great job at UMass Boston. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat. Low for ball one. Olsovsky on second after he got his first base hit and first time to get on base all season. Blake has a chance to try to do the same. Olsovsky will likely want to try to get home here. It would need a little bit of power from Blake to do so. 1-0 from the stretch. Blake's going to send that. It's going to get to center field. No time for Olsovsky. He's not going to tag up. Going to stay at second. That is a sharp line drive and is caught at center field for the second out of the inning. So, after conceding the single hit, two very quick at-bats see Joe Muzio and Aiden Blake go down in order, but now a man who's been able to generate some offense so far, Bobby Marsh, steps back up here. Yesterday, he went 1 for 4 and got an RBI off a triple. It brought some delight to the Pioneers faithful, and the Pioneers are going to be hoping he could do the same. He also had struck out previously as well. So Marsh ready to go. Here's the first pitch now from Prospero. Ball 1 just outside. That was very close in that outside corner. The booth here in Batavia, a slight skew over to the left. So sometimes those can be slightly harder pitches to read from in here. With 2 outs, there's a runner on second, and arguably the best Pioneer hitter at the plate. Bobby Marsh, the 0-1. Should be, yeah, now it is. Apparently the last pitch was called previously a strike, but there was no motion from the umpire. Incredibly hard to read there. But the count is even, and it did look like more of a strike on that first pitch regardless. So, should say that, yes, that is actually how it should be. Now the 1-1 to Marsh, 2 away. Just outside, ball 2. Marsh getting ahead here. Plenty of Muckdog fans out at the stadium tonight. As the sun is setting, lights will eventually go on here at Dwyer Stadium. But now Prospero takes the sign he wants, and here's the 2-1 to Bobby Marsh. Fouled away. Count's going to go 2-2 now. One more strike could get the Muckdogs out of the inning with relatively little damage. That leadoff single could be all she wrote. Pioneers wanting to convert early. Scoring first would be huge, but they need to get that runner from second home. He'll be running on any contact, so if Bobby Marsh can get a hit, I do think that could be enough for a run. Now here's the 2-2. From the stretch. Just high, ball 3. Count goes full. Full count early at bat here, but again, could be crucial. We saw quite a bit of offense in the previous game, but we also know that at the start, you could see some lockdown pitching to try to get past that barrier of scoring the first run. Has been tough for both teams. Here's the pitch. Marsh is going to foul that one away. Marsh able to stay alive. It's the only player on the Pioneers to have gotten a triple so far. In fact, not many extra base hits for the Pioneers this season. Last game, they only had 4 hits in total on 2 runs in their 8-2 loss. Marsh provided one of them. It also gave them one of their 2 runs thanks to an RBI. They're also actually calling, I think, for the ball. That one had gone a little bit further foul. It's actually on the field of play, so they just want it removed. And that's going to be a lucky souvenir for a few of the fans over by the bullpen. Prospero back in the mound. We're ready to resume play. Here's the 3-2. From the stretch, a payoff pitch with 2 outs. And strike 3. Marsh goes down looking to end the inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, with 1 left on base for the Pioneers. And that ends the top of the first inning. The Elmira Pioneers. Bottom half is going to come up next. Carter Kendall will take the mound right after this. We're back at Dwyer Stadium. Brian Bello leads off for the Batavia Muckdogs. For the bottom half of the first inning, Hunter Kendall takes the mound, as he has been given the start here for the Elmira Pioneers. That one is going to be ball one. Kendall, a pitcher from Houghton, had a third best ERA on his team and also managed 71 strikeouts, which is more than double the amount of strikeouts anyone else on his team had all season. Count goes 2-0 now. He's excited for the summer ball season and not feeling a lot of pressure with the start. Even after the Pioneers had a rough game one, he is focused and ready to go. Here's now the 2-0 to Bello. That one is high for ball three. And the Pioneers surrendered 10 walks from the mound last night, and it's looking like that could be the fate for the first batter for the Muckdogs. Brian Bello was able to draw a walk yesterday, but the account stays alive, 3-1. Bello went 1 for 4, alongside a walk, a run, and also struck out twice. Here's now the 3-1 to Brian Bello. Bello's going to drive that one. It's deep, but it's playable. And in center field, Odom makes an excellent catch to get the first out of the inning. That one had a bit of distance, but wasn't enough to go deep in center field. And they're now 1 out. Brian Fry hitting at the 2 spot today. Him and Bello were 1 and 2 previously, but it was Fry leading off with Bello behind. Fry this time batting second in the order. He also went 1 for 4 with a walk, run, and only 1 strikeout. Here's the first pitch of the at-bat. And ball 1. He had held up in time, so it is ball 1. One out, bottom of the first. Here's the 1-0 from the stretch. That's going to be grounded, and Kendall right at him makes the grab. Throw to Muzio in time for the second out of the inning. That was a little bit of a hot shot, but an excellent catch there made by Kendall, calm and collected. Had a simple toss to first. Get the second out of the inning. Tyler Cano is up third here. Yesterday, he went 1 for 3 with an RBI and also was able to draw a walk and score a run. Big power hitter, and the count goes 1-0 after that one is ball 1. He'd hit 9 home runs for his college this season, and the Muckdogs are excited to have a player with that level of power. And that hit him! Ouch! He's going to get to first base right there on the hit by pitch. He's okay. He's able to shrug it off. And with that, the inning will stay alive with 2 outs. So the first base runner is able to get aboard thanks to a hit by pitch. That one slipped away from Kendall there. Mentioned Kendall trying to use summer ball to help work on his pitches, gain better motions, controls, and all of the tools needed. And he mentioned that last summer he was able to develop a sinker and wants to continue to improve that. 2 outs here. There's a runner on after the hit by pitch. That one's low, but in the zone. Strike 1. Daniel Burroway up here, and he was arguably the best performer for the Muckdogs last night as the count goes 1-1. He went 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs, 2 walks, and scored 3 times. Now, how did he get those 3 RBIs? Those on a bases-loaded triple where he cleared the bases and ultimately put the game out of reach for the Pioneers. He's a dangerous hitter. Count goes 2-1. Don't want to get behind him, and that's what Kendall has done. 2-1 now. Have to see what happens here. This next pitch to Burroway. That is inside again, 3-1. Those pitches have gone inside. We already seen them hit one batter, but so far he's refraining from getting that second one hit. But he could surrender a walk here to Burroway. Mag on deck. He might want to get a shot with a runner or two on. Burroway is going to chop that into the outfield. Gets down. Picked up and left there by Bobby Marsh. That'll put runners on first and second with 2 outs. Well hit into the outfield. And that is going to bring up Alec Mag. Mag had 2 RBIs in previous game, and it was on a bases clearing double, but he also struck out 3 times in his other 3 at-bats, going 1 for 4. The Adelphi catcher ready to go with 2 outs. That's the first hit of the game. First time we've actually seen both teams get some hits early. That one's ball 1, a little inside. Muckdogs this time will be able to have their home fans in attendance cheering them on. Last time they had to travel to Elmira with a very excited Pioneers crowd. Similarly, an excited Muckdogs crowd. That was close, doesn't hit him. Trouble with those inside pitches so far from Kendall. 2-0 count. So in the bottom of the first, still an even game, but there are 2 runners on and 1 in a dangerous scoring position. That's going to be grounded to short, picked up. The throw to first and Muzio. It's in time to end the inning. That grounds out, and that will end the inning. The game remains tied. No runs on 1 hit. No errors, and 2 get stranded on base as the side is retired. We'll be back with the top of the second right after this. You're watching Elmira Pioneers Baseball. We are back at Dwyer Stadium for more Pioneers baseball. Top of the second underway. Leading off for the Pioneers, Ethan Herrera, making his first appearance in right field this season. This inning sponsor is C-Trans. C-Trans is accessible to everyone as all buses are equipped with ramps or lifts. Find out more at our website, chemungtransit.com. For all your transport needs, remember, C-Tran is the smart way to go. We thank C-Tran for being a sponsor of the Elmira Pioneers, and we are ready to get back underway. Here's the second pitch of the at-bat. The count is now even at 1-1. One and one count now. Ethan Herrera. And I think he went, so he did. Strike 2. That was a close call, but he did go around a little too much, and he's got rung up for it. 1-2 count now. Ethan Herrera, one of multiple two-way players for the Pioneers. Coach Drum has even mentioned that the team has a lot of Otanis, players that are good at pitching and at fielding. That one is popped up. Will it stay in play? It will not. Instead, that's a souvenir for a fan. Count remains at 1-2. But just to get you a good idea of those stats, Ethan Herrera pitched 16 innings at UMass Boston and recorded 21 strikeouts and only had a 1.96 average against him. Meanwhile, at the plate, he had a 2.90 average and an 8.24 OPS. That means he is good playing at both hitting and with pitching, and has a chance to try to generate a little bit of offense at the start of the second inning for the Pioneers. The 1-2 from the stretch. Outside, count goes even at 2-2. It is an even count, but you'd also say that, hey, it's still in the pitcher's favor ever so slightly. Pitcher needs one more strike. The batter would need 2 more balls. Prospero ready. Here's from the stretch the 2-2. Swing and a miss. That's his second strikeout of the game. He was able to retire Marsh looking in the end of the first inning. This time gets Herrera swinging for the first out by the top of the second. Jonathan Haynes steps up for his first at-bat of the season. And fans, don't forget your Pioneers are back at historic Dunn Field soon after this, including tomorrow night. Learn more about that later. And for a few more of those promotions, that is a ball outside, ball 1. Jonathan Haynes, he's playing designated hitter, but he was a very solid fielder at Washington Jefferson, having not committed a single error. Second pitch coming up from the stretch. It's going to go 2-0 now. Haynes able to get ahead. So far, Prospero has done a very good job of getting not too far behind in counts. You have to imagine he's going to throw for a strike here. It's just outside again, so a 3-0 count. Could be one pitch away from surrendering a first walk. Elmira is on deck. Would put a runner on with 1 out. Prospero ready. He gets his sign. Likes this one from the stretch. There's a line drive. Will it get down? No. Ranging back in the outfield is Schrader, and he gets the play. The second out of the inning. So Pioneers, once again, a little bit slow to start at the plate. Gilmarad will step up here. Now, one thing to know about Gilmarad, he's a returning Pioneer, but he also has a great eye. College last year, 30 walks compared to just 20 strikeouts. So he knows how to work counts and get on base. That one well outside, ball 1. So what do you do when you're facing a pitcher with some good control? You're facing a batter with a good eye? Should be an entertaining at-bat. That one inside, ball 2. Rod is at Ithaca College. A few of his teammates are there, including Ethan Buckley, who pitched last night. You see quite a few teammates from the Pioneers that are teammates at colleges, too. It also gives them just some people that they know entering a new team atmosphere. That one fouled away, strike 1. 2-1 count now. Gilmarad hoping to keep the inning alive, to not have the Pioneers go down in order. That was something we saw a few times last night. Prospero from the mound, 2-1. That one's going to be grounded. Foul. 2-2. It almost looked like that would have had to be a playable ball over at third base for Reinhardt. But Reinhardt can take a deep breath. That one foul. We know Reinhardt's a good player, though, so he probably would have been able to make that play. 2-2, 2 outs. Here's from the stretch, Prospero, ready to get out of the inning. And outside, count goes full to Murad. There was only 1 walk drawn by the Pioneers all of the previous game. And Murad might be able to get them their first walk here in the second inning. At this point, Coach Drum just wants them to get on base. That probably won't do it. It's going to be a pop fly. Both infielders tracking it, and that'll end the inning. That pop out to second base ends the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one has been left on. The game remains tied entering the bottom of the second. We'll be back with more Pioneers baseball after this. We're back. Bottom of the second inning. Hunter Kendall finishing some warm-ups here. Got a clean first inning, apart from a hit by pitch and hit. And looking to keep it clean in the second inning. Levi Aguilar Jr. leads off. He got on base via walk and ultimately scored 2 runs, despite going 0 for 3. He was also hit by a pitch. He'll playing in right field today. And this inning's sponsor, Multimedia Services. The Elmira Pioneers would like to thank Multimedia Services in South Corning for being your Pioneers official printer. Take a look around the ballpark and all the signs you see is printed by Multimedia. Well, it very well might be for Batavia, but we are in Batavia rather than Elmira. But whenever you look at Dunfield, that is all us. Here's the first pitch from Hunter. He tries the bunt. That one goes foul, 0-1. Pioneers would like to thank Multimedia Business Printers for helping us with all our printing needs, and they can help you too. 0-1 count here to Igia. That bunt went foul. Kendall ready to go again. And, well, that's a second plunk batter. He's struggling with that control for inside pitches. And it gets a runner on to open the inning. Zakia unstraps his straps. He's now ready to go. No outs. He's the lone runner on. Jerry Reinhardt up next. Last night, Reinhardt went 1 for 4 with an RBI. He also struck out 3 times. That's very much against him, as he knows how to get on base and draw long counts. Although, even though he did strike out, he did draw long counts, so it'll be a tough battle for Kendall indeed. Wonder if Igia is going to run. Doesn't here, but he won't have to. That's a wild pitch. And Igia gets to second. Count goes 1-0. Tough start to the at-bat. He very well could have plunked a second batter there. He just hadn't stepped out of the way very slightly. Kendall ready to go. Here's the pitch. Fouled away. Count goes 1-1. Again, thank you for tuning in. Upcoming games, of course. Tomorrow night at Dunfield and Sunday, June 5th, the Jamestown Tarpskunks visit for Star Wars Night, sponsored by Wegmans. Also, we face Niagara Power on June 7th for free team poster and meet the team night. Make sure you get your tickets. That one's going to be grounded to short. Runner stays at second. Throw to first is in time for the first out of the inning. Runner isn't able to advance. It was playable enough. But still a dangerous spot with only 1 out. And Schrader up now. Drew a walk and went 0 for 3 yesterday. He was also batting 10th yesterday. Now is up at 8th. He's got a runner in scoring position and would like to get his first hit. I know Muckdogs fans are going to be incredibly excited as he put on a show in his high school postseason. Here's the 0-0 with 1 away. Runner on second could be dangerous. That would be the first run of the ball game. Swing and miss in the dirt. Strike 1. Ron is up quickly to make sure that Igia didn't go. Shader ready to go. Kendall ready from the stretch. He's just going to pull back and make sure the runner stays put. The sun is setting. It'll soon turn from day to night at Dwyer Stadium in upstate New York. That one is strike 2. He was looking inside. So Kendall still ahead here. He has not gotten a strikeout yet, but would like his first strikeout of the season. against one of the rising Muckdogs and one of their star players. That one's going to be grounded shallow, but they're going to say it bounced off home plate. Foul. Crowd still excited. 0-2 counts. It's a good count for Kendall. One for Shader. It's when he's got to fight back from. If that play had carried on, it likely would have brought Agia to third, and Shader would have likely been out at first. Would have been the second out of the inning. Instead, we're going to have another 0-2 pitch coming up right here. Shader pitching lefty, hitting lefty. Agia goes. That one. And that one is foul. The sun glare in the way. Incredibly hard to see that play. But it goes foul. I got a piece of it, but drove it foul. Count stays 0-2. The sun is setting at one of the worst ways. It's not very noticeable on camera, but it definitely is from the booth. 0-2 count still. Kendall still very far ahead in the at-bat. One out. Saw Johnny Martinez put his runner in motion. Runner stays put this time. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Greater the first strikeout for Kendall as he is sat down here. That'll bring up Caleb Rodriguez with 2 outs. That time, Shader was fooled by the off-speed pitch. And now we're going to see Rodriguez ready to go. We saw Rodriguez come on as a pinch hitter. That one is going to be high ball 1. After being in that pinch hit role yesterday, he gets the start today. 2 outs, runner on second. Kendall once again working his way out of a situation with the runner in scoring position. That one, strike 1. Lands right in that low part of the strike zone. Counting back even for Rodriguez. He's from Keene. Agia on second, ready to run when a ball comes in play. There are 2 outs. He takes a step back. Fouled away. That one is going to be ball 2. Well, second ball, it's called for strike because it is fouled. I apologize. 1-2 count, 2 outs. Kendall wanting to get out of the bottom half of the inning after just surrendering that hit by pitch. And wild pitch had got the runner in scoring position. 1-2, one more time. Runner goes again. It was ball. Thrown to third. Caught, but they won't make the tag. So, Agia is going to steal a base. Puts him on third with a 2-2 count now. And a lucky grab at third there. As if it got by Scheider and went to the outfield, that would have been really bad news, as it would have sent Agia home. 2-2 now. That's going to be grounded, foul. That one passed the third base line. Still a 2-2 count with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Agia, the go-ahead run right now. And Caleb Rodriguez bring him home. 2-2. He went. But the check, no, he held up in time. Home plate umpire just needed a double check there, but the count will now go full. Kendall looks like he's ready to go. He's had a quick pace of play. Ready to go with the payoff pitch from the stretch. Runner on third. 2 outs. And hits him. It looks like it bounced off him there. We just, again, been seeing him struggle with a little bit of that control. Puts a runner on first and put runners at the corners now with 2 outs. Alex Torres batting 10th as the extra hitter. He also came on as a pinch hitter yesterday. And now has a chance with 2 runners on and 2 outs. Wonder if they're going to try to do anything with Caleb Rodriguez. That first pitch, low ball 1. Not a lot of control so far from Kendall. Still getting settled in. He hasn't conceded a walk, but he's had plunked 3 batters. All the batters he's hit, righties. That last one wasn't, I think, that bad. I think it was more of a bounce off. There's a fly ball out to right. It should be playable. It is, and that will end the inning. 2 runners get stranded. No runs, no hits, and no errors, but 2 do get stranded off those hit by pitches. Making that play was Ethan Herrera to end the inning. The leadoff batter will be up next for Batavia in the bottom of the 3rd. But for now, the top of the 3rd is coming up. The Pioneers getting back to the plate. We'll be right back with more Pioneers baseball, this time trying to break the scoreless tie. We are back. Top of the 3rd underway. Pioneers at the plate. Janae Vaughn fouls that one away. Vaughn making his debut. The extra hitter today from Brooksdale Community College. He had 3 home runs and 37 at-bats. This count goes 1-1 now. He had a .486 slugging percentage last season. Very impressive. So you know can get some power under it. Count goes 1-2 now. I know Coach Strom would love some power to try to get his team back on track here. Here's the 1-2 now, top of the 3rd, underway. Vaughn swings and misses that one in the dirt. That'll be the first out of the inning. Vaughn goes down on strikes. Disappointing for his first at-bat. But he still has plenty more to go this season. Scheider, he's coming up here, 3rd baseman, ready to go. 1 out. Here at the top of the 3rd. Prospero doing a great job so far. Only 1 hit surrendered. That one, strike 1. And so far, that single hit that he led off to Olsavsky, that was the only hit and only base runner Pioneers have gotten. That one, strike 2. Those 2 breaking pitches landing inside the zone, and Scheider already behind. He's got a good eye, though. 15 walks to 16 strikeouts. And last season in 2021, he was on the All-Pac 2nd team. He's going to ground that to short. That's not going to be fielded in time. He gets on base. The ball's going to go behind. So, what likely will be an error on that play at short gets another base runner. And it is graded as an error. Scheider gets on first with 1 out. At this point, Jerome will want base runners any way he can get them. And that is certainly one way he can. Zach Odom steps up here with 1 out. He's playing at center field and has already seen a little bit of action. Now is a chance with a runner on first, 1 away. That one's strike 1, low and in the zone. Odom He's a perfect 14 for 14 in stolen bases over his college career, and he only had one error all year at Wells College. His brother is also a Pioneer. However, he's not here because of an injury, which is a shame. Hopefully he can return next season. We'd love to have both Odom brothers back in Elmira. Count 1-1 now. Odom still fighting. Prospero ready from the stretch. Here's the 1-1. One on with one out. Odom's going to line that. It's going to get down in the outfield. It'll put 2 runners on with 1 out. That was hit nicely and a good line drive that gets down in the outfield as the top of the order gets back up. Olsovsky had a single last time. That's another chance here. 1 out. He's got a runner in scoring position. Drum would love to bring him home to try to get the Pioneers offense going. From John Carroll University. That one's low ball 1. Now, if you're a football fan, the name Olsovsky might be a little familiar. Because indeed, Joseph Olsovsky is the son of Jerry Olsovsky, former NFL player and current coach at the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's not the head coach, but he's one of the auxiliary coaches. Speaking of auxiliary coaches, a couple others with Pioneers as well. And a fun fact, Billy Wilderman, the pitching coach, he's also eligible to play if he needs. So you wonder in a game, maybe he'll get a call to the mound. But for now, of course, he's just helping the players out in the bullpen. 2 count to Olsovsky. He had his first hit of the season in his previous at-bat. Prospero, ready from the stretch. He is actually not going to take a step. I think he wants a different sign really quickly. And it looks like now he's ready. 2-0. 1 out. Olsovsky's going to ground that to the third base line. They get the throw to second. He's going to hold on to it. Runners will be at the corners with 2 outs. Not able to turn a double play. So he gets aboard off the fielder's choice.
First baseman, number 51, Joe Muzio.
Joe Muzio is now up with 2 outs. He grounded out his last time. So runners are now at the corners. 2 outs. I think Muzio just wants an extra second before he's ready to go. Top of the 3rd inning, still underway. 2 runners on and 2 outs. Muzio wanting a first hit as a Pioneer. He got on base via an error last time with a .2 on base percentage in total. Muzio is a player in person, very friendly. He's been outgoing. We've seen him talking with players in the field, but also recently, pre-game during a warm-up, he was able to chat for a minute with Batavia Muckdogs fan before getting started at hitting practice. The homer away, Muzio might have something to say. Usually very nice things. Here's the 1-1 now to him. Go-ahead run at third would be the first run of the ball game if Muzio can drive him home. Ready to stretch 1-2. 1-1. Dipped away. Now the count goes 1-2. After a shaky start, conceding a runner off an error and a hit, Prospero now has 2 outs in the inning and 1 more strike away from getting out of the jam. Can he get it here? 1-2 from the stretch. Runner goes, and as it's high, we're going to have another pitch and an easy stolen base right there, as there was no challenge for Olsovsky. Now a base hit wouldn't just probably send Scheider home, it would likely send Olsovsky home as well. Now it's even more dangerous on the mound for Prospero. The 2-2 to Muzio. Muzio declares that one foul. It should be playable. It is. The inning is over. And 2 runners get stranded on 1 hit and 1 error. The game remains tied entering the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's a leadoff batter, Brian Bello, who will lead off after this. Bello leads off for the Batavia Muckdogs. We are back at Dwyer Stadium. Our sponsor for this inning, Papa John's. Fans looking for a hot pizza at the game or afterwards. That one taken for strike 1. Visit the concession stand when you're at Dunfield, or order Papa John's here, there, wherever you are. There's also one in Elmira at 950 County Road in the Target Plaza. 0-1 count now to Bello. Count goes 1-1. That one a little bit high. Kendall back on the mound this inning. Coach Drum has confidence in Kendall, mentioning he had a great spring season with Houghton. That one's going to be strike 2. 71 strikeouts is certainly something to be proud of, and he's looking for a second one right here against Bello. Bello so far 0 for 1. The 1-2 fouled away. Fans, don't forget your Elmira Pioneers are back at historic Dunfield on Sunday, June 5th, versus the Jamestown Tarp Skunks at 4 p.m. for Star Wars Night, and also on Tuesday, June 7th, against the Niagara Power at 7 p.m. for a free team poster and meet the team night. Call 607-734-2690 for tickets. Now, the 1-2 after that foul ball. Fouled away one more time. Bello staying alive. Kendall had been wearing a brace not too long ago. He had suffered a PCL injury earlier in the season. And to have it worse, he gave it up on a gopher ball. So, he looks recovered now, and he's doing very well so far. That pitch wasn't as well. Goes in the dirt ball, too. No outs. A 2-2 count to Bello, who's working a longer at bat here. Of course, the question is, how long will Kendall be able to go? Drum has mentioned he hasn't wanted to rush or do too many pitches for a lot of his guys. There's going to be a drive deep to left, but it is playable. And that will be the first out of the inning as Bobby Marsh gets under it. That one had some distance, but not enough to go yard. That's out number 1. Brian Fry ready to go. He grounded out 2. Kendall last time. It had landed in Kendall's glove, and he made an easy toss over to first. This time he squares up, but it's going to go outside, ball 1. So far, Kendall not feeling a lot of pressure. He's had some tricky situations to work out of, but apart from that, he stayed cool, calm, and collected. Fouled away, count goes 1-1. And again, we do apologize for all the stream difficulties we've had so far. It's been a tricky start, but for now, you're up here live on YouTube. Here's the 1-1, bottom of the 3rd. There's going to be a line drive to left. Marsh gets under it. And that is going to be the second out of the inning. 2 quick outs this time for Hunter Kendall.
First base number 35,
Cano ready to go. He was hit by a pitch last time and ultimately got stranded at second. And now you see Muzio talking again with the Pioneers first base coach and the umpire. You already mentioned he's a very chatty guy. Wonder what they're going to talk about. Here's the 0-0. That one's low, ball 1. Kendall not perfect on control so far. You've seen him plunk 3 batters, although he hasn't conceded a walk, which is good, but hit batters are also free bases, and they'll also not get you on the, happy side of the other team. There's a shot to second, fielded, the final out of the inning. This time, the Muckdogs go down in order. A quick inning for Kendall. No runs, no hits, no errors. No one left aboard. First time the Muckdogs don't strand a runner as we enter the 4th inning. We'll be back. More Pioneers baseball after this. You up for the Pios. Blake, Marsh, and Herrera. Top of the 4th underway. This inning's sponsor is Demet's. Demet's Candy Company is proud to support the Elmira Pioneers. Proud to live and work in the community and have the opportunity to support the Pioneers. We see some action in the bullpen, and actually it looks like they're going to make a pitching change here for the start of the 4th inning, as that will end Prospero's day. He goes 3 innings total, having surrendered 2 hits, no runs, no earned, alongside no walks. He managed 3 strikeouts, didn't hit anyone, and didn't have a balk, wild pitch, and ultimately had faced 12 batters. So with that, we will be right back as the pitching change is underway. A little surprising move, but see how it works out. Chris Isaac on the mound now for Batavia.
Is number 6, Chris pitching. No.
Right-hander from Sterling. He's ready to go here. And he's got a clean slate to work with. I think a surprising change, but Prospero given the boot after 3 innings. He did well, and now it's going to be up for Isaac to continue that for the Muckdogs. Pioneers hoping this pitching change can lead to a change in fortunes. After having a slow start here, they want to get some action going. Aiden Blake leads off to open the inning. I was able to talk to Coach Drum before the game, and Drum mentioned that he was excited to see Blake as he was very successful at UMass Boston this season. And that's likely one of the reasons he's batting 3rd in the lineup. That one's ball number 1. Ball number 2. So Blake able to get ahead here. So far, Blake is 0 for 1 with the line out, but trying to improve this time around. That's going to be grounded to short. That should be the first out. Blake does a good job to try to run it out, but he's a few steps behind. Those plays look routine, but they require focus. That time, Caleb Rodriguez remained focused and got the first out of the inning. Bobby Marsh steps up here with 1 out. Marsh struck out looking last time with a runner on second. He has an RBI this season off a triple. He went 1 for 4 yesterday. As a fan favorite, Pios fans happy to see him returning. Count now, 0-1 after that one was tipped foul. Here's the 0-1. Tipped away one more time, very similar, but this time hits the ground before going backward. Marsh down 0-2 already. Marsh didn't have a lot of college action as he was redshirted at Florida Atlantic. They want to utilize his extra eligibility. So Marsh said he was excited to get to work playing the game here with Elmira. Here's the 0-2. That's going to be grounded and gets past Isaac. He's just going to hold it at second. He made a good grab running, but ultimately decides not to try to risk what would have been a dangerous throw. So Marsh is going to advance to first in this play. It's the 3rd hit of the game for the Pios, and there's now a runner on with 1 out. 2nd hit of the season for Bobby Marsh. Ethan Herrera ready to go. He struck out in his previous at-bat. But we've also seen Herrera active in the field today. With 1 out, he's got a runner on, a chance to try to do some damage. We already know that he's pretty good on offense. That one's in the dirt, ball 1. So Isaac doing an okay job so far, apart from conceding that single. He's been keeping balls on the ground. He's going to throw back to first. Marsh back in there safely. Count remains at 1-0. Sun has set. It's made viewing a little bit easier for me and hopefully for the viewers as well. 1-0. That one's outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes here. Herrera doing a great job of getting ahead in the count here. Something that the Pios have been able to do, but not leading in a lot of players on base. They only drew 1 walk in the entirety of the previous game. Count goes 2-1. That one fouled onto the net, it looked like. Or it might have been a souvenir. Close. Checks over first. Isaac's now ready. The 2-1. That one's in the dirt again. Marsh won't be able to go. 3-1. Mag was able to stay in front of it, and it bounced in a way where Marsh probably wouldn't have even wanted to go if he had more speed to do so. 3-1 count for Herrera. Herrera's going to ground that hard to third. This time to throw to second, throw to first. It's a double play to end the inning. Strong fielding from the Muckdogs to retire the side. 1 hit, but no one gets left on base after the double play. That's a 5-4-3 double play to end the inning. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Game still tied. The pitcher's duel having a 3rd competitor with a good, solid start.
Proceeds go to the Glow Academy's pen.
We are back at Dwyer Stadium, bottom of the fourth, underway. Leading off, Danny Burroway. He had a single last time around. And so far, has been pretty good from the plate. Went 2 for 3. That one's going to be ball 1. Kendall's still on the mound. 3 RBIs and 2 walks as well for Burroway. We know he can be quite dangerous. And so far, he is 1 for 1. And gets ahead in the count one more time. Ball 2. Burroway, ready, the 2-0 coming up. And that one is strike 1. 2-1. 2-1 count to Burroway. From Alvin State, been a consistently strong hitter. It's the reason he's been trusted at the cleanup spot. That one a little bit inside, ball 3. Burroway now very ahead in the count. 3-1 coming soon. Kendall likes the sign. Swing and a miss there. That's going to be strike 2. That likely would have been ball 4 if he had kept his bat still. Count is now full for Daniel Burroway. Kendall ready from the stretch. Payoff pitch coming up here. And that one a little bit low. The first walk surrendered by Kendall. Burroway gets the free base. That's been one thing that Coach Drum says that the team needed to work on, conceding 3 free bases. And they conceded quite a few last night, to the tune of 10 walks. Certainly not conducive to winning ball games, even though that is the first walk for Kendall. 4 other runners have gone aboard on free bases, thanks to hit by pitches. Now there's a runner on, no outs. Count goes 1-0. Burroway a little lead at first. Fouled away, count will go even now. Alec Mag went 1 for 4 yesterday, but grounded out in his previous at-bat. Once again comes up with a runner on. That one's going to be inside ball 2. His hit came with an RBI double that was ultimately able to clear the bases. But he also had 3 strikeouts. Wonder if Kendall is able to get another. He won't, but as it's bobbled, they get the force. That was nearly a double play. It slips out of Blake's glove, but he recovers in time to get it to Olsavsky at second. So that one for Mag is a fielder's choice.
Right fielder, number 18, Levi Aguilar.
Gets Burroway out, and now there is one out and a runner on. This inning's sponsor is Vasco Brands. Own a business? Looking for a janitor supplier? Or janitor supplies? Call Vasco Brands and tell them the Elmira Pioneers sent you. Thank you, Vasco Brands, for supporting the Pioneers. And right now, Kendall not able to support his cause of this count. It's 1-0 right now to the favor of Levi Agia. That one's popped up. Murad not able to make a play on it. Instead, it looks like, ooh, that one's off the roof. Our roof is pretty sturdy, though, so we don't have to worry about that one breaking in for a free souvenir for us. Count now 1-1, one away, runner on. Still a tie ball game in the fourth inning. This is around this period where we start to saw some offense really getting on fire for both teams. 2-1 count now. Agia went 0 for 3 yesterday, but also got on base 2 times to score 2 runs. Here's the 2-1 count. That one, ooh, that's 3-1. I actually think that one might have been in the zone, and Levi was just very close to it. He did have to back away. He leaned in, and he almost got hit by it. Would have been the 4th hit by pitch for Kendall. At that point, you do know it's not on purpose, but the umpires have to say, listen, you just got to pitch it. You can't try to hit the batter. Here's the 3-1. And that is going to be ball 4. That is another walk conceded to start the inning. 2 on and 1 out. That's the second walk for Kendall. And it's around this point, I imagine, that Drum might want to have one of his guys warming up in the bullpen. But for now as well, Kendall's still ready to go. Jerry Reinhardt. A loud ovation from the fans. Here's the first pitch getting ready from Kendall. 1 out, 2 on. In the dirt, but Murad stays in front of it. Ball 1. So, after being clean and conceding walks the first 3 innings, we now see 2 of them conceded in the span of 3 batters. That's the bottom of the 4th. Here's the 1-0 now, Reinhardt. In the dirt again. Runner's going to go, so runner's now at the corners. Count 2-0. Murad not able to stay in front of that one. And this time, Max says, hey, I might as well try to get to third. And he gets there safely. Runners at the corners, 1 out. A fly in the outfield, and send a runner home. Reinhardt grounded out last time. That would probably not be ideal for the Muckdogs, as that would probably lead to a double play. Here's the grounder. It's going to get in the outfield. Muckdogs take the lead, but it's going to be played cleanly enough to keep runners at first and second. First run of the ball game is going to Batavia. They take a 1-0 lead on an RBI single from Jerry Reinhardt. Gavin Shader comes up. And now there are 2 runners on still. Pitching coach Waldman's going to come out here. And we are going to see some players running to the bullpen to warm up. But for now, Kendall's still going to get a chance. His leash is going to be a little shorter. Gavin Shader now has 2 runners on, 1 out. It took a little while, but we finally have our first run of the ball game. Once again, it's Muckdogs who score first. This time in the bottom instead of the top of the 4th. That's Reinhardt's second RBI of the season, as he improves to 1 for 2 on the day. Shader, he's got fans that are excited to see him. And what a way to try to make a mark by trying to convert here. But of course, Hunter Kendall in the way. He doesn't want that to happen. He's just conceded a run. Here's the pitch. That one gets away, but Murad bounces in the right direction. Ultimately, he stays, Reinhardt stays. Count goes 1-0. So on that previous play, we saw Olszewski make a diving effort, but just comes up short there. Count now 1-0 with 1 out. That one's outside, ball 2. Here's the 2-0. That one gets behind him. Both runners are able to go. Runners now at third and second on a 3-0 count. And now I wonder, maybe Kendall's out of gas. Pitches have been slipping even more recently. And you have to wonder whether the call of the pen will be made much sooner rather than later. Shader could get on base with another walk. Yet to have a hit this season. At this point, he might just want to get on base for Caleb Rodriguez. Kendall, I think he's shooting over a look to his coach saying, I don't feel so good. But at this point, I think Drum wants him to finish that bat. Rio now, Shader. 1 out still, 2 runners on, both in a dangerous scoring position. Ball 4. This time Shader gets on via 4 straight balls.
Shortstop number 7, Caleb Rodriguez.
Caleb Rodriguez now steps up. He came on as a pinch hitter once. And now has a bases loaded opportunity with 1 out. First one, strike 1. 1 out, but a ball in play would lead the force out at home. So you could say that might help the Pioneers. Field not very far in. That one's going to go in the zone, strike 2. Good recovery from Kendall to get ahead. That one broke just in the zone. We saw Rodriguez very close to the pitch. Obviously, he might want to stay a little closer. Getting another plunk would bring home a run. But now he's down 0-2 in the count. With 1 out, a strikeout would be crucial here. And just outside, inside, ball 1. Outside the zone. Rodriguez able to stay alive. He was hit by a pitch in his previous at-bat, but didn't get any further than first. 1 out. Here's the pitch. High, and ooh, that one again slipping away. 2-2 count. Fans are excited here. A bases loaded situation. Close game. Muckdogs were able to lead after scoring a run earlier, and now have a chance to try to get that scoreline to grow a little bit more. Kendall needs to work his way out of it. Here's the 2-2. That one's going to be sent deep to left. Will it land fair? And no, just foul. And that is a sigh of relief because it would have been a base hit that would have probably sent a run or 2 home. But instead, the count stays at 2-2. Even if that was caught, that likely would have given enough time for Gia to tag up because it would have been a pretty difficult running catch where you can't square up for a throw very quickly. 2-2 one more time. Very high leverage at bat. You see an arm warming up for Elmira. Ready with the pitch. That one, ball 3 a little low. Just a little low, maybe tagging the line on that zone, but just under it. And now a full count, bases loaded. Rodriguez, it's a situation you dream of. It wouldn't give you a win outright, but it certainly would help you get closer if you did something. It's important for Kendall, 3-2, and a walk has brought home a run. That is the 4th walk surrendered in the inning for Kendall. Bases will now stay loaded as Aguirre gets home. And I think most certainly that is going to be Kendall's day. Murat is going to have a quick conference. Bases remain loaded. Batavia lead 2-0.
Extra hitter number 9, Alex Torres.
Torres comes up with a bases loaded and 1 out. Torres flew out to right last time. And here comes Drum, and that'll be it. Hunter Kendall's day has officially come to a close. He had a clean first 3 innings, but the wheels have fallen off. Locking up into the 4th inning corner. And a tough crash. A tough outing there for Kendall, but it's still a long game. Kendall can still work himself to a no decision if the Pioneers offense goes. He's going to get some congratulations from his teammates. Kendall finishes the day with a strikeout, but a couple of runs conceded. In total, he got through 3 1/3. He conceded 2 hits, 2 earned runs. In total, 4 walks, 1 strikeout, 3 hit batters. And in total, he faced 19 hitters. We've got a lefty on the mound now. And I think right now it's going to be Braden Coletta. Yes, Braden Coletta from Niagara Community College making his debut. And he has inherited a bases loaded situation. Very stressful indeed. But he does have 1 out. So if he gets a double play, he can get out of this jam. But already, Batavia would be satisfied because they have scored 2 runs already and hold a 2-0 lead on the Pioneers at home.
Starting. And your attention is now for Elmira. For 7, Braden Coletta. Coletta now pitching for the Pioneers.
Alex Torres ready to go, facing off against the lefty. Braden Coletta can also be a two-way player. In 6.1 innings with Niagara Community College, he recorded 11 strikeouts. Here's the first pitch. Outside, ball 1. And at this point, if you're Coach Drum, you're definitely wanting the players to pitch to contact. And that's what he said he wants his players to work on. When they get in trouble, just pitch to contact and let your defense do the work. That time, that was to contact. That one's going to be strike 1 in the zone. Umpires had a couple late calls today, so sometimes it can be harder to read. Runners ready to go, still bases loaded, 1 out. Here's the 1-1 from the stretch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. That one had a little heat behind it, and that got ahead of Alex Torres. 1-2, stressful count here. Coletta would love to open up his season with a strikeout. That time, just a little low. Ooh, that was close. I almost thought that was a strike, but just under the zone. 2-2 count now. Coletta ready to go. 2-2, bases loaded on the stretch. That time in the zone. Strike 3. Got Torres looking. Bases remain loaded, but now there are 2 outs, a much more manageable number than just 1. Coletta comes in and immediately gets a strikeout. Facing the top of the order one more time, Mello. He's up here. Mello flew out in his previous 2 at-bats. Flyout wouldn't help his team this time around. That one again, a breaker landing in the zone. That looks like a nasty curveball indeed. And it has fooled batters. Last 2 times. 0-1 count now for Bello. That one's some heat, but a little inside, ball 1. Seeing those inside calls, I think benefiting the batters for both teams a little more. Something that both teams' pitchers have had to work with. 1-1, 2 outs, bases still loaded. That one a little bit low this time, ball 2. We are still in the bottom of the 4th, and the offense has finally come live for the Muckdogs. They've had the bases loaded. Bleda was able to retire a batter with a strikeout, but the Muckdogs have already scored 2 runs. Here's the 2-1 now. Brian Mello. Fouled away, back into the net, 2-2. 2-2 count, a high-stress pitch for Bello. Bello, yet to have an RBI, although he has come home as a run. He'd love to get an RBI here, or more, as a ball in play that leads to an RBI would certainly be more. Fouled away, staying alive. Clubhouse manager Ben getting that foul ball. Bring the 0-0. Always a great hand and great help around the clubhouse. Teammates gave him the nickname Radio. Time to time. That one's going to be outside, ball 3. And Coach Drummond said he's wanted to avoid giving up free bases. And already a free base has led to a run. Another free base would lead to another run and be arguably worst case scenario for the Pioneers. Here's the 3-2. All runners going. There's a drive that's going to go deep left field. Is it playable? It is. Marsh at the wall ends the inning. What a stressful play that was. The roof obscuring the ball for us, but not enough for Marsh. That fly out ends the inning. And you're Brian Bell, you're thinking, what can I do to try to get that ball out of the park? That's his 3rd flyout, and that leaves the bases loaded. But on just 2 runs, come home on 1 hit, no errors, and all 3 runners are left on base. The Muckdogs still able to take the lead entering the top of the 5th inning. We'll be back with more Pioneers baseball after this. Here's the first pitch. We are back. That's a swing and a miss to open up the inning by Jonathan Haynes. Haynes, of course, leading off now for the Pioneers. Count goes 1-1, so again, very quick pace of play from Chris Isaac. Here's the 1-1. That one's going to be high, ball 2. Haynes playing as the designated hitter today from Washington and Jefferson against Chris Isaac, who came on to the 4th inning, has already had a very clean inning. That one's going to be grounded slowly to second, throw to first in time for the first out of the inning. Cleanly played, and there's already 1 out to go. 1 out underway. Ardent Health is the official healthcare provider for the Elmira Pioneers and sponsor of the 5th inning. Next time you need medical attention, make sure you visit Ardent Health for all your medical needs. They're also a logo on the hat, and we thank them for being a sponsor. Now, up again is going to be Elmira. The first pitch, that's also grounded to second. And another easy play for the second out of the inning. A very quick start so far for the Muckdogs, and for the Pioneers, they don't want to send Coletta back out that quickly, but they might have to. Two outs. Up steps Vaughn. Janae facing a righty, so he doesn't have to worry about a lefty-lefty platoon. So far, he's struck out. Now he's ahead of 1-0. That one chopped foul. Ball going for strike one. Vaughn's excited. And he's happy to be a Pioneer. He's very, very much ready to take the initiative. We saw him at Wegman's meet and greet. Go into the store with a teammate to try to find some more people to give some tickets to. As here's the 1-1. Vaughn's going to ground that again to second. A diving play, and he can't come up with it. It almost looked like he did. The ball nearly disappearing in the grass. But you could see a frustrated pound on the ground there by Fry. It's not his fault. That was a very well-hit ball. He did his best to get to it. Barely misses it. There's now a runner on as Vaughn secures his first hit with 2 outs. Top of the 5th, still going on. Scheider comes up here with a runner on. Ready to go one more time. First pitch, strike one. Scheider got on base via error last time, but only was able to get to third before getting out. That one outside, ball one. Two outs, runner on. That's going to be a line drive. It is a base hit. Vaughn stays at second, 2 runners on, 2 outs. So finally, the Pioneers finding a little bit of offense. They were able to respond last time when the Muckdogs scored, and they might be able to again. Vaughn to second, Scheider to first, and Zachary Odom, who was able to single last time, steps up here. With 2 outs, a repeat of that would be enough. And it looks like we're going to get another call to the bullpen. Or just, I think, a pitching meeting on the mound. Ready to see if that bullpen door opens. So a very quick meeting. But again, tomorrow night, Sunday, June 5th, the Elmira Pioneers play one more time, facing the Jamestown Tarp Skunks at 4 p.m. Next home game after that, Tuesday, June 7th, against the Niagara Power. That's a free team poster and meet the team night. Make sure you stop by. Call 607-734-2690 for tickets. And also remember to call that number if you want season tickets. Start at very affordable rates. Come see as many Pioneers games as you'd like. Stepping into the plate now, Odom getting ready to go. So it isn't going to be the end of the day for Chris Isaac, but I assume his leash is going to be a lot shorter after that quick meeting on the mound. 2 outs, 2 on. The tying run is currently on first, as the Muckdogs still lead 2-0 to your Pioneers. That ball is outside for ball one. That one fouled away. 1-1. Odom earlier got on base via single, but was out on a fielder's choice. Odom looking to continue that hot start in the game. In fact, with that, carries a 100 average. Perfect. 1,000 average, I should add. Here's the 1-1 now to Odom. Outside, ball 2. Odom able to work himself back here. Now, Odom hasn't had a home run in his entire college career, so he's more of a contact hitter. But if he found one here, not only would he be able to get that no home run monkey off his back, he would also be able Let's get a runner home. Instead, it's going to be foul, playable. Yes, that ends the inning. 2 runners get stranded on 2 hits. As the Pioneers come up short one more time, after that one's fouled out, the first baseman. This pointing end to the inning to the Pioneers. They still trail by 2, and we'll be back with more Pioneers baseball. Ryan Fry leads off the bottom of the 5th inning. 0 for 2 today. Ground out and line out. Fleta still on the mound. He came on and has a lefty-lefty advantage. Oh, that was very close to hitting into Fry. That was a breaker that just slipped out of his glove. That's a 1-0 count now for Brian Fry. Fouled away, count will go even. See some shrieks from the crowd as someone now has a lucky souvenir. The ball boys able to give some new balls for the umpire. At the end of the inning, we'll see a plethora of kids run onto the field. Here's the 1-1. Fouled away. That was close, but no cigar on that one. Stays foul. Count goes 1-2. Fleta opened up with a strikeout and flyout to get out of a bases loaded jam. And now, to breathe a little bit easier. Ooh, and is that a bird? I don't know if that's a bird or not running on the field. It might have been a squirrel or something, but I think, or a cat, something running on the field. I think it's gone over to the outfield corner. I wonder if it's able to get off the field. That's the reason we stopped play for a second. I was worried at first whether I was seeing something, but no. Now he's off the field. He is safe because we don't want him getting hit with a line drive. Play resumes, 1-2. That one's fouled away again. And is that a souvenir? Hard to tell from this angle, but the count stays alive. Fry. 1 for 6 on the season now, after those previous 2 at-bats. Would love to make it 2 for 7. Here's the 1-2. That's outside. Ball 2. Here's now the 2-2. Getting ready to go from the stretch to Fry. Inside, ball 3. The bullpen has not been the best friend for the Pioneers. In fact, it was the bullpen that conceded the 7 runs in the previous game, where Mike Sokol, as the starter, only a conceded 1. And that is going to be a base on balls for Brian Fry, his second time getting on base that way this season. So Fry is able to work that count full and get on base with no one out. Tyler Cano ready to go. He was hit by a pitch and grounded out. His first 2 at-bats. Throwback to first. As the lefty, you've got the advantage of a hard read throwback to first, where you can catch a runner off guard. A big power hitter. And I know that's what Coach John Martinez is going to want. There's a little bit of power on that swing, but it's just going to be a pop fly to second. And that'll be the first out of the inning. Fry stays on first. Burroway steps up here. 1 out. 1 for 1, he got on base via walk, and with a single. And for the season, he's 3 for 4 with 3 walks, and he's done a very good job at the plate. So with a runner on, he's definitely a dangerous hitter. That one outside. Coletta was just also double checking at first, just to make sure that Fry didn't go. One-0 count now. Burroway. That one's going to be a little bit inside. Ball 2. Coletta behind in the count. Arguably Batavia's best hitter. That's not an ideal situation here. Right with the 2-1 to Burroway. Said he's going to throw back to first. Fry's back in time. 2-0 count still. 1 out. And there is a runner on. Here's the pitch. That one. Throw back. Almost caught him off guard. Instead, it's just going to be ball 3. You can see another walk conceded here. And that would be another free base that we know that the Pioneers really don't like. We've already conceded quite a few so far this season. Drum says that they are getting some more pitchers later on, and that he's excited. Continuing to welcome more bullpen arms to the squad. That one's going to be strike 1 in the zone. He likes the current staff, but also in general. Pioneers have more hitters than pitchers, and that's a very weird statement to say for a team. So those additions will certainly help the Pioneers out. A few players that were set to join the team had injuries and other issues come their way. Here's the 3-1. Holloway is going to rip that to left. Marsh makes the play. Runner stays at first. That's the second out of the inning. So Bobby Marsh doing a great job in the outfield there. Out number 2. Alec Mag ready to go. Got on base and scored on a fielder's choice back in the 4th inning. But in total, he's 0 for 2 today. A chance to try to have a relatively quick inning here after the early walk. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be high, ball 1. Certainly know that Drum would love Coletta to try to go 2 innings here. Hunter Kendall, 3 1/3 in total, and already 1 1/3 pitched by Coletta. Here's the 1-0. That one's going to be outside, ball 2. Coletta has gone behind the count a few times, but has been able to fight back. And that's always a key trait, to be able to fight back after tough situations. Even got behind during a bases loaded situation, which is honestly probably the scariest at-bat to have to deal with as a pitcher. Now here's a 2-0 with 2 outs. That one's going to be, a little outside. I think that would have been strike 1, but they're going to call up all 3. It looked like it was in the zone, but just on the edge, and I'm just going to give that tie to the batter. 3-0 count, 2 outs, runner off first. Here's the pitch, and that is going to be ball 4. 4 straight pitches. Alec Mag is going to go on base with his first walk of the season.
Number 18,
Levi Aguilar ready to go. Got on base twice via hit by pitch and a walk where he scored. So 2 runners on. 2 outs. Fleta wanting to work out of the jam now here, but he only needs 1 out to do it. That one on the outside corner, strike 1. 0-1 count now. Fleta finally getting ahead of a batter. Looks over at second. Now back at the catcher. Here's the pitch. And the dirt. Murad recovers it in time. Ball 1. Seen a couple balls get a little bit errant. Murad's done his best to stay in front of him, but we've seen runners advance on a couple wild pitches. 1-1 count with 2 away here. The bottom of the 5th. Fleta now. Here's the 1-1 from the stretch. Swing and a miss. Aguirre went early on that one, but fooled because it was an off-speed curveball, and now it's down 1-2. Had some nice break there. So Coletta ready again. Here's the 1-2. Runners go. Outside, throw to third, gets in the outfield. Muckdogs will take a 3-0 lead. Will the other runner come home? No. And that is a wild throw from Murad that wasn't playable at third by Shader, and the runner comes home. And it also sends a runner all the way from first to third. Extremely disappointing there. That's ball 2. And the score is now 3-0 Batavia. 2 outs. The count remains at 2-2. Here's the 2-2 again. Outside ball 3. That is disappointing for Coletta. That's his first earned run of the season. So the runner coming home on error. 3-2. And that is ball number 4 one more time. That is the second walk conceded in a row and a third walk this inning. In total, 7 walks in the last 2 innings for the Pioneers. Coach Drum is going to be a little bit disappointed at that. But now it's time, I think, for the players to start following his advice. Pitch to contact when in trouble. Runners now at the corners, the 2 away. Jerry Reinhardt got an RBI single his last time aboard. Runner goes to second. Murad fakes the throw to second because he wanted to make sure, or he wanted to try to catch the runner at third off guard. But now it's going to get the runner the second. So runners both in scoring position now with 2 outs. A ball in play that leads to a hit would likely send both home. Count now 1-0 to Reinhardt. Wonder, now as there is activity in the Pioneers bullpen, how short the leash for Coletta is and whether this will probably be his last inning of work or not. Here's the 1-0. That is ball a little low. It looked like a strike. It looked like it landed right in the zone. It didn't. 2-0 count. But again, if you're Coach Drum, maybe you're saying that one was more on the umpire, but still, you want your pitcher to pitch to contact. That's what he said before. And the free bases situation still not being fixed. Here's the 2-0. That one, ball 3. So once again, Coletta getting behind. Earlier in the inning, he was able to get out of those jams. Now, not as much. Reinhardt would give the bases loaded with 2 outs for Gavin Shader. And strike one. That one inside the zone. That time, so he avoids another 4-ball walk. Reinhardt will have to work a little bit harder with that. He was able to get an RBI, 1 for 4, but also 3 strikeouts in the previous game. Here's the 3-1 now from Coletta, and that is ball 4 again. That is a 4th walk conceded in the inning, and that will load the bases with 2 outs. And Wildman's going to come to the mound as a pitching meeting is going to ensue. Shouldn't be a pitching change, but I think Wildman's just going to say, listen, you've got 2 outs. Let your defense do the work. And a fun fact I mentioned earlier about Wildman, if he needed to, he could put on a jersey and start warming up. He's technically eligible to be a player for the Pioneers, but he's serving as the pitching coach, so it's unlikely we'll see him do that. Things would have to get extremely dire for that to happen. But the bases are now loaded with 2 outs once again. That was the situation that Coletta entered to, and if things continue, it could be a situation another reliever enters to. Batavia leads 3-0, and errant throw sent the 3rd run home. And 2 consecutive walks have loaded the bases. Bottom of the 5th here at Dwyer Stadium. And for the Muckdogs, it's been an exciting opening night at home for them. The Pioneers, it's looking like a rough game too. You see in the crowd, someone dancing along. Some fun music blaring over the stadium speakers. And now we got 2 outs and a new batter coming up. Gavin Shader again drew a walk. That's his second 2 of the season. So far 0 for 4 in his true at-bats. But he's got a chance to really put on a show for the home fans. No count, bases loaded, 2 outs. Strike 1, that one lands in the zone. Shader, he's a lefty batter, so he's going to be at a disadvantage against Coletta. But again, all he needs to do is get a good ball in play. Try to bring run or 2 potential runs home. That one's going to line drive. Marsh can't get to it. That'll likely clear the bases. 2-run score. It won't clear as Marsh recovers quickly. The ball didn't roll too far, but he wasn't able to make the catch. Shader's first hit for the Muckdogs makes it a 5-0 ball game. Runners now on 3rd and 2nd again. It's a 2 RBI double, and that means the home fans are ecstatic, and that'll be very disappointing for Pios fans. And for me. Caleb Rodriguez steps up here. 2 outs still, and a 5-0 lead for the Batavia Muckdogs. Responding once again well at home, proving why they could be a championship contender. So far, the Pioneers, a slow start. We do have a pinch runner. We do have a pinch runner at second. That one's going to be strike 1. That breaker landing in the zone. Trey Bacon's the pinch runner. That one, a little high, ball 1. We saw Trey Bacon come into the game as a pinch hitter yesterday. And he is back today. 1-1 count. That one, ball 2, just a little bit inside. And again, kind of disappointing. That one very close to being a strike. Just inside. 2-1 count. The Muckdogs wanting to try to really extend their lead here. And ball 3. A 3-1 count now for Caleb Rodriguez. 2 are on, 2 outs. And fouled away, count goes full. Potential payoff pitch coming up here. 2 runners remain on with 2 outs. They'll be going with the ball that's hit. If it turns into a hit, it could clear the bases. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and the inning is over. Not before Batavia is able to bring home 3 runs on 1 hit, 1 error. 2 runners are ultimately stranded on base. It's a 5-0 lead entering the 6th inning. For Batavia Muckdogs, Pioneers have to fight back. And we'll be back after this. Ryan Kinney comes in, the right-handed pitcher from Xavier, Los Angeles, or Louisiana, is going to be pitching to start the top of the 6th inning. That concludes Isaac's work at 2 innings, where he in total surrendered 3 hits, but no runs. Didn't concede a walk. He also didn't get a strikeout. And ultimately faced 8 batters. McKinney gets a chance here, leading off. That was a chopped ball, and throw is in time. So, just as soon as Olszewski opens the inning, he grounds out.
First baseman number 51, Joe Muzio.
Muzio steps up here with 1 out. And so far, Joe Muzio, he's 0 for 2 today, having recently fouled out in foul territory to third base. Muzio still looking for a first hit as a Pioneer. That one high, ball 1. Batavia, 3 runs scored in the previous inning. They currently lead 5-0. Muzio, ready to go here with a 1-0 count, getting ahead. Muzio pops that one up. And this time it's going to be called by short. And that'll be the second out of the inning right away. So very quick inning so far.
Baseman number 24, Aiden Blake.
Aiden Blake comes up. And our sponsor this inning, First Transit. The Elmira Pioneers would like to thank First Transit for all their continued support of Pioneers baseball. Thank you, First Transit. So Aiden Blake steps up here with 2 outs. Bases remain empty. Blake grounded out to short his last at-bat and is yet to get a hit as a Pioneer this season. That is going to be high ball 1. Coach has put his trust in him, and he's excited to see what he can do, but so far, he, alongside the rest of his team, just struggled a little bit. Not always in getting on base, but rather in connecting enough hits to get runners home. That ball's going to go low for ball 2. So the good news for him is he's able to get ahead of Kinney here, 2-0. But Kinney is forced 2 outs in play immediately. And I know he's going to want to be continuing that right here to get out of the inning. Pioneers want to stay alive. Here's the pitch. Ball 3. Kinney's pitch forcing Blake to dive away a little bit. The top 3 to start off. Bobby Marsh would get a second at-bat on deck if the inning stays alive. Here's the 3-0. And ball 4. He gets on via 4 straight walks, and it's the second walk of the season that the Pioneers have gotten. And for Blake, that helps keep the inning alive. Bobby Marsh steps up here. And I was able to talk to Bobby Marsh last night after the game. He was disappointed with the result, but he knows this team is ready to try to go back, and they want to try to win on the road. But so far, that's a prospect that's going to look a little tough. They're currently trailing by 5 runs. Still got some time, though. Bobby Marsh is a player who can definitely catalyze a little bit of offense. He scored an RBI triple with a runner on first in the previous game. Count 1-0. So Kinney, the righty, looking to complete a first inning of work here. A little bit less stress, however, from Johnny Martinez. Probably wants Kinney to go as far as he can. That one goes high for ball 2. Two balls and no strikes now to Bobby Marsh. Do see some players in the bullpen. No one seriously warming up yet, but that could change. 7 straight balls thrown the Pioneers' way with 2 outs. And now Bobby Marsh has a 3-0 count for his advantage. He might not mind getting on base to give a chance for Ethan Herrera. Herrera would love to redeem himself this inning with 2 runners on. Now here's the 3-0 to Marsh, and obviously should take all the way. He does, and that's ball 4. So, 2 straight 4-pitch walks. And Bobby Marsh, as pitching coach, is going to come out for a quick conference. Don't think it's going to be a full change yet, but 2 walks with 2 outs have put 2 runners aboard. So with that, the Pioneers double their walks tally for the season. And now Ethan Herrera steps up. Ground out 5-4-3 in his last at-bat and wants to turn that around. And, ooh, we see a little fireworks out in the distance. Just a single one. But got a roar from the crowd. As they make a pitching change, we'd like to remind you, call the Elmira Pioneers for season tickets. The season getting underway. You still have time to get some VIP tickets or general admission season tickets. Come watch the Pioneers in person. And remember, tomorrow night, Star Wars Night, sponsored by Wegmans. And on June 7th, you've got to meet the team and free poster night. Be sure to stop by Dunfield, or if you can't, continue watching streams. They'll most likely be on YouTube from now on. Once again, apologize for all the difficulties getting these set up. Now there are 2 outs and 2 on in the top of the 6th. And that ball gets away, but it's just going to be ball 1. and make that 9 in a row balls thrown to the Pioneers. So Kinney struggling to find the strike zone. Could be a reason we're seeing some more players getting ready, stretching and tossing in the bullpen. In case they need to make a change. Kinney already has gotten through 2/3 of an inning. On deck, see Haynes. He'd want a chance to go. And that one gets away. Both runners advance. No throw, no need to risk it here in this situation. Count goes to 2-0. Base hit would seriously help the Pioneers here, and Ethan Herrera would love to make up for that double play earlier in the game. What better way to do so than putting your team back into the game? 2-0 count now. Both runners advancing on wild pitches. And gets away again. Runner comes home, and that's the first run for the Pioneers this game. They finally score as a wild pitch brings Blake home and brings Marsh to third. It's a 3-0 count, 2 wild pitches in a row, bringing a 3-0 count for Herrera. And he now doesn't need to worry about not being able to bring a run home, as the run already has. It's a 5-1 ball game, and now a runner just remains on third with 2 outs. Three-0 count, 11 balls in a row thrown. That one finally a strike. Count goes 3-1 to Herrera. Now, fun fact as well, for the Muckdogs, that was their first earned run all season. Indeed, the wild pitch gives Kinney an earned run. It's the first one they've had earned all year. That one's going to be grounded down the third base line, bounces off the glove. It's now a 5-2 ball game. Herrera, as there's a bit of a commotion in the outfield, almost goes to second, but stays at first. It's an RBI single for Herrera. His first hit of the season brings home a run. No change yet on the mound. They're still going to let Kinney try to finish out the inning. But 2 outs. The runner is now on first. It is a 5-2 ball game. A little bit of more signage of life on the Pios. That one foul and out of play. Strike one. Haynes steps up with 2 outs. 0-1 now. So far today, Haynes, a fly out and ground out. He would want to turn that around, because tying run would technically be on deck by the name of Gilmarad. That one, strike 2, just in the zone. So Haynes behind the count here. Checks first. Here's the 0-2 to Haynes. And held up, and no, they're going to say it went. And that'll end the inning. It almost looked like that was going to be hard to read, but no. They're going to say that Haynes went around, and that'll be a strikeout to end the inning. But before then, 2 runs score on 1 hit. No error. And ultimately, 1 is landed on base. We'll be back. Bottom of the 7th after this. Nick Racer gets the call as he will start out the inning on the mound for the Pioneers. Number 30 making his first start of the season. Reeser on the mound to start off the Pioneers in the bottom of the 6th. The Pioneers showing some signs of life, scoring 2 runs in the top half of the 6th. They need to keep it clean in the bottom half and get those bats up quickly. And leading off once again is going to be Alex Torres. Torres struck out back in the 5th. 4th, I apologize. And he's going to be the first batter to face another new pitcher. This time, Reeser. He was the first batter to face Coletta last time with bases loaded. But he struck out, leaving them stranded and loaded. He's going to want that to change, looking for a hit right here. First of the game would be coming up. Bottom of the 6th, ready to go. First pitch. That one's a little bit low outside. Ball 1. Alex Torres, he's the extra hitter. Batting 10th in the lineup. Reminder, of course, Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League. 10 hitters in the lineup. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Now it goes 1-1. Reeser, another later addition. He joins Pioneers from Suffolk. 54.2 innings pitched, 45 strikeouts, alongside a 3-4 record. And he does have a save in relief, too. He had a varied mix of starts and relief stints. Now it goes 2-1 now. So Reiser ready to go, the 2-1. That one's going to be grounded to short. Play is made, and that'll be the first out of the inning. Routine ground ball. Still takes some skill to make those routine, because otherwise that might get past you and it's the outfield. Good job by Yosefsky to make that happen. The Mambo number 5 is playing. And with that, Brian Bello is back at the plate. And so far, he's hit 1, 2, 3 fly balls into the outfield. This time he's going to drop a bunt. Lands in front of Murad. Throw it off first is in time. So, very good bunt there. Lands nicely. But Murad makes the play in time for the second out of the inning. I think it definitely caught the Pioneers off guard. But Murad, quick enough reaction. And that'll bring up Ryan Fry. Fry got on base via walk and scored on an errant throw to third in the previous inning. So, total, Coletta, 2 earned runs, one of them, of course, coming home via error. And in 1 2/3, 1 hit, 3 runs, 2 earned, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, and a couple wild pitches. He faced a total of 9 batters. The Fry back up, ready to go. 0-0 count. 2 outs here. It's been a quick inning so far for the Pioneers, but that second out can still prove to be a tough out to get. Just asked by Tampa Spartans that have seen many runs come home in a tough super regional loss. Hopefully, the Pioneers avoid the fate as my college. They are getting ready to go. First pitch now to the lefty. Outside ball 1. There's only been 1, 2, 3 innings so far for the Pioneers. That was back in inning number 3. There's a flare out to left. Is it playable? It is not, but it is also foul. Marsh ran to it, but wasn't able to come up with it. Count goes to 1-1. We've seen a lot of balls go Marsh's way. He's made a lot of great plays. One time trying to make a sliding catch, it falls behind him and brings a couple runs home for the Muckdogs. That's a painful way to let a run score off a missed catch like that, but it's not Marsh's fault. That was an incredibly tough ball to get to, and he's showing a lot of hustle. It's a reason that he is a fan favorite. A great bat and very consistent arm in the field. Here's the 1-1. That one is a little bit low, ball 2. So we're seeing Reeser already doing a better job of pitching the contact. And that in the end is what Drum wants. In the previous innings, we've seen quite a few walks. You can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 walks surrendered. In total, 12 of the game. That is a base hit up the line. Through the first at second base. Stayed on the ground. And with that, Fry gets a hit. Canoe gets ready to go. He's 0 for 2 today, but he also got on base via hit by pitch. And now it's a runner on with 2 outs. 6 foot, 7 foot. Well, that's the height range you normally find players. 6'7" is the tallest of the Pioneers, and that was the starting pitcher, Hunter Kendall. That one's going to be a little bit low, ball 1. It's always interesting, myself being 5'8", looking up to Hunter Kendall. I do some of the interviews. But again, I've never been a super tall kid. So, naturally, I do look up to quite a few people. That ball, down in the dirt, ball 2. So 2-0 count now for Tyler Cano, and we've seen Cano have a power bat. And he already is 1 for 3 in the previous game with an RBI. Runner goes. That one's going to be lined. But this time, Marsh makes the catch to end the inning. Tricky catch, but Marsh comes up with it. The inning is over. So 1 runner gets on via hit, but Reeser keeps it clean. Apart from that, Pioneers trail by 3, entering the top of the 7th right after this. We'd also like to thank our sponsor, Texas Roadhouse, but the main read doesn't really affect for tonight. We're not playing in Dunn Field, but if a player hits a home run that hits the Texas Roadhouse at Dunn Field, well, guess what? Everyone gets free appetizers. You know, for me, I'd probably take those cactus blossoms. So, we'll be back right after this. More Pioneers baseball as they come up for the top of the 7th. 5-2, Muckdogs lead. Julian Pichardo now on the mound for the Muckdogs. He's a returning Muckdog as well. Fans remember him. And he's got the call for the 7th inning. A 3-run lead is what he needs to defend. So, are you looking for a hotel? Do you have family and friends visiting the Twin Tiers area? Perhaps your first phone call should be Clarion Inn Riverview in Elmira. Clarion Inn Riverview is the host hotel for Elmira Pioneers. Now, we don't need a hotel on the road, but Clarendon would be a first choice for the Pioneers if we were there. It should be your first choice, too. We're back with Pioneers baseball, top of the 7th. They were able to get 2 runs aboard and a quick bottom half of the inning. You have to wonder whether their offense can stay hot entering the top of the 7th. Leading off, Gil Murad, who's 0 for 2 today. So Pichardo on the mound here. Fouled away. Count goes 0-1. One thing to watch out for Pichardo, he brings some heat. Over 90 miles an hour. That's going to be tough for some of the Pioneers hitters to deal with. Going to be up to them to try to work some good counts, get on base, get some hits, maybe try to take a fastball deep. Easier said than done. Here's the 0-1 to Murad from the stretch. Swing and a miss. That one a little bit high. And Murad, 0-2. Still getting up to speed, but again, we're seeing these pitches, a lot of heat behind him. That's going to be tricky for the Pioneers to get used to. 0-2. And just a little high. That was a little bit slower that time. Murad able to take it. Still behind the count 1-2, but he's able to get a little bit closer this time. Now here comes a 1-2 from the stretch from Pichardo. Even lower, ball 2. 2-2 count now. Murad able to work himself back into a better count, but still, you'd say the pitcher's got an advantage here, and someone with some electric stuff like Pichardo is a hard pitcher to get back into battles from. Here's the 2-2. Fouled away again, so Murad's staying alive. Pioneers bullpen empty. I think they're going to want Reiser to go a little bit longer. So far, Reiser's done a good job from the mound. He's been able to pitch to contact like Drum has wanted from his pitchers. Now, 2-2 to Murad. From the stretch, here's Pichardo. And ball 3. That's going to bring it to a full count. Close one, but the inside bias for the batters continues. And Murad is able to benefit, although I think that one was definitely more convincingly inside. Full count for Gil Murad, who's fought back from 0-2. Here's the upcoming pitch from Pichardo. I wonder if he's going to go some heat here. 3-2. And that was cooking. And that one hit down the line. But what a catch. Wow. A diving play. And hats off to you right there on that diving play, Jerry Reinhardt. He robs him there of what could have been extra bases. That was hit. Literally a burning ball, but a diving catch opens up the 7th inning. Wow. Gets it in his glove, gets the first out. And now up is going to be Janai Vaughn. So Janai, of course, takes ball 1. A lefty batter gets a slight advantage against righties. But again, facing that type of heat, always difficult. Let's see how Vaughn can cope with it. Here's the 1-0, 1 out. Swing and a miss. That one, I think he went a little early that time. Count goes 1-1. Vaughn earlier struck out, but also got a single. 1 for 2 on the day. Muckdog fans excited, still vocal pretty late. It's been a good game for them, so not surprised to see that. That ball's in the dirt, ball 2. Not surprisingly, with extra heat, you sometimes lack control. He's looking, gets a sign. Here's the 2-1 now for Janai Vaughn. Vaughn tips that. Ooh, it hits the umpire. Hopefully he's okay. But, ooh, that definitely stung. He's got to take a break for a second. And the Muckdogs trainer is just going to take a look at him really quickly. Count goes 2-2. And again, of course, umpires do the most dangerous jobs, especially at home plate. Sitting behind those balls, those tips happen quite often. And they're always an integral part of the game. So we here for the entirety of the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League thank our umpires for having to take those bruises, take those hits, take those heckles, and do their jobs to keep our game running smoothly. Here's just a list of our sponsors again, the entirety of them. Pioneers want to thank AJ's Outdoor, Arca Shimon Skyler, Arnott Health, Berg Fox, Blaze Brockway, Wheel Electric, Buckley's, Bully Hill Vineyards, who are visible on the back of our jerseys, Catholic Charities, Shimon Channel Trust, Clement Center, Coca-Cola, Dandy Mini Marts, Elm Chevy, Elmira Heat Treating, First Transit, Glovehouse, Hardinge, Heroes Comic Shop, Hilliard Corporation, who are also on the CAT, Elmira Junior Enforcers, Jubilee Foods, Just in Time, M&T Bank, NYSC OPBA, Office Equipment, OPWDD, Papa John's, Salins, Save-A-Lot, Seneca Beverage, Service Master, Serve Pro, Shedden's Wholesale, Simmons Rockwell, Slammin' Jammin' Barbecue, Solutions FCU, Southern Tier Custom Fab, Suburban Propane, SUNY Corning, Susan Minchin DDS, The Cakery, Yoga Downs, Today's Special, and Vaughn gets a second hit up the middle. As we also want to thank Tower Broadcasting, Town of Southport, Turtle Leaf, U.S. Navy, Vasco Brands, Wegmans, Wells Markets, and Wilbur Auto. And that one had some speed on it, got into the outfield, and Janai Vaughn gets another hit here. There's now a runner on with one out. Plays resumed, and Janai immediately puts it into play for a base hit. A nice drive up the middle. A solid game from him so far. Even if for the Pioneers, it has been a struggle at times. Here's the pitch. And that is going to be ball one, a little low. Looks to first, but not throwing it back. So good take on that play by Shader. Shader had a single last time. Up. He also got on base via error and got all the way to third, so he's ultimately 1 for 2 on the day. Here's the 1-0 to Shader. Outside, ball 2. Throw back to first. Ball gets to the outfield. Vaughn has to say as he did slide back in. Shader able to get ahead here. That was a chance for Vaughn to try to get to second, but he ultimately doesn't. 2-0 count, 1 out, runner on first. Here's the pitch from Pichardo. Kicks his leg, and strike one. That one had some heat behind it, and a tough take in the zone for Shader. 2-1 count. Days turn tonight, we see the lights shining bright, and it is a nice night here at Dwyer Stadium. A lot of fans out here celebrating the start of the Muckdog season at home. They enter the game 1-0. Pioneers enter the game 0-1. Here's the 2-1 now to Logan Shader. Throw back to first. He catches Vaughn off guard, but he's back in time. And Pichardo does not like that at all. Vaughn was caught napping that time, and that is going to bring out Coach Martinez. I don't blame him, whether it was just the tag was too late or not. I thought Vaughn might have been out. Fireworks in the background at a very inopportune time. Wow, and I think some fireworks of words coming from Martinez. He's going to talk over Pichardo about it. Pichardo visibly upset with that one. Pichardo did everything right there. I thought the tag was made in time. So Vaughn, a lucky break there. Wow. That's a deep breath for sure if you're Coach Drum and you're Vaughn. Especially if you're Vaughn, because you're getting a pretty large talking to, I'd say, with Coach Drum afterwards if you were caught out there. Now Vaughn goes, throw to second, and won't be able to get him, so he's going to be able to steal second. So instead of facing a potential lecture of staying awake on the base path. He's probably going to get some applause for stealing a base. Count now 3-1 as that one was called a ball. So 3-1 now to Shader. And ball 4. Shader gets on base. So with that, tying run is at the plate with 1 out. Pioneers finally able to keep generating some offense. And Odom, if he's able to get his bat hot, could really make this game close entering the later innings. 1 out. Here's the first pitch to Odom. Tipped away, strike 1. And again, he's the tying run. If he got his first home run of his career, we'd be looking at a tied ball game. Odom fouled it off for the final out back in the 5th inning. Only a double play would end the inning here. I think he wants to impress his brother, who's unfortunately injured and not able to join the Pioneers. Here's the 0-1. Zach Odom. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. I think it was a little early that time, expecting a heater. Odom 1 for 2. He had gotten a single way back in the 3rd. And a single could also be crucial in trying to get the bases loaded or bring some runners home. Any run will help the Pioneers at this stage. Currently still trail 5-2 to the Muckdogs, but 2 runners on. Here's the 0-2 now to Odom. Outside ball 1. Tried to get him with that pitch, but he doesn't. Looked a little more like a curveball. Potential slider, maybe even a slurve. 1-2 now. Odom still at the plate. Ready to go. Chardo Odom. Here's from the stretch. And ball 2, just a little bit low. That was tricky, but ultimately went to the batter. 2-2 count. High pressure at bat for Odom. A huge at bat would help to try to get the Pioneers on the win column and back into this game. 2-2 count, 5-2 lead. The Muckdogs. Can the Pioneers eat into it? From the stretch. Checked up, but strike 3. He's out regardless. Crowd roars after that strikeout. Odom goes down there. Check swing. Doesn't matter if he held up or not. That's out number 2. And the first strikeout for Pichardo. And top of the order, Slavsky ready to go one more time. Pioneers were able to get 4,693 people in attendance yesterday. So very, very large crowd. And it's great to see everyone out there. Hopefully, similar numbers on Sunday. Osofsky looks at that one. It was off speed and it fooled him. Strike 1. 2 runners remain on. Osofsky is the tying run. So far, he's only got 1 hit all season, and that was back in the 1st inning. In total, he's 1 for 7 on the year. 1. That one, ball 1, a little bit inside. 2 on, 2 outs. Top of the 7th still. But yep, Osofsky, his father, of course, NFL coach, former player. 1-1. 2 outs here. An important at bat indeed for Osofsky. Tipped away. Count goes 1-2 now. Chardo could get himself out of the jam. Right here, he needs 1 more strike to do it. Olskowski wanting to stay alive. He hasn't struck out this season. He certainly doesn't want to. He's part of the All-OAC first team, and he's been trusted both games as the leadoff hitter. Key pitch here, big at bat here. 1, 2. 2 outs from the stretch. Can Pichardo get out of the jam, or can Osofsky help the Pios? That is high, ball 2. More fireworks going on in the middle of the game. And if we didn't need any more distractions at the at-bat, there is a fireworks show going on. And I wonder if Olsavsky might want to call time. They're going on behind Pichardo, so you don't know how that affects him. A few more going on in the background. 2-2. Olsavsky rips it into the outfield. Does it get down? Yes, it does. It's going to get far. 2 runs will score. Olsavsky is going to get to second. He stays there. It's a 2 RBI double. The Pios are within 1. Olsavsky, an RBI double. Tying run at second. Go ahead run at the plate. It got in the gap. Olsavsky, a clutch RBI double with 2 outs.
First baseman number 51, Joe Muzio.
And Joe Muzio is up with 2 outs and a 5-4 ball game. How important was that at bat? I'd say very. It gives them a sign of life entering the later innings. You see some players stretching and warming up in the bullpen. Muzio ready to go. That one, strike 1. Pichardo gets back ahead here, and he needed that, certainly. Elmira scoring double the runs they did last night, trying to show up the Muckdogs on the road. Here's the 0 on the Muzio. Outside, a good attempt to frame it there, and I'd say that was very close by Mag, but ball 1 given. Muzio, 0 for 3 today. How important would that first hit be here? Well, he'd be able to bring Olsavsky home, that's for sure, and it would probably bring a tied game. Here's the 1-1 to Muzio. That one a little high, ball 2. Stress for Pichardo. Definitely nerves from the Muckdogs fans and faithful. 2-1. Right here, ready to go with 2 outs. Joe Muzio. From the stretch, here comes Pichardo. A little bit of heat, but inside ball 3. Muzio drawing a walk would also be beneficial. It would bring up Aiden Blake, who drew a walk his last time up. Muzio, still ahead in the count. 3-1. Doing well so far against Pichardo, despite the heat that he can bring. Here's the 3-1. You probably want to take here. Muzio fouls that away. Count goes full. And a big, stressful pitch right here for Joe Muzio. A chance to try to tie the game. A runner on second who's going to be running, likely on this pitch, because again, you might as well. There's 2 outs. If that's a strike, it's the inning over. And besides, if it's a walk, you could still probably get to third. I have to see what happens here. Pichardo, ready, likes to sign. 3-2, payoff pitch. We're going to call time. A deep breath. I think they just call time, not liking what they were seeing. But again, if it is stressful for us, it is twice as stressful on the field. Pichardo now ready to go. 3-2, payoff pitch coming up. Olsavsky stays. Swing and a miss. Muzio strikeouts. The end of the inning. Inning is over. And a painful way to end the inning. Stranding what would have been the go-ahead run. But still, 2-run score on a hit and no errors. And now it is a 5-4 ball game for the Muckdogs. They still lead, but Elmira knocking on the door. They'll be back bottom of the 7th after this. A beautiful choral rendition of the 7th inning stretch right there. As we are ready to resume, Riser still on the mound for Elmira. And after 2 tough innings, the Muckdogs certainly want to try to expand their lead. They lead 5-4, but the Pioneers have clawed within 1, hunting down the Dogs' lead. It's been a lot closer in game number 2 than it has in game 1. Fireworks still going on in the background. We do have a fireworks post show. The game as well. There will also be 3 more firework nights for the Pioneers this season, as the final pitch to warm-up has concluded. And now, leading off, we are going to see Danny Burroway. Daniel Burroway, for the game today, he's 1 for 2 with a walk. 3 walks in the season, 3 hits in the season. Scored 3 times. So, and also 3 RBIs. Pretty much 3s all along his board. As he preps for non-at-bat number 3. At-bat number 4. Here's the first pitch from Riser. Ball 1 a little high. And again, tomorrow night, Wegmans night. Wegmans Star Wars night back at Dunfield. May the force be with the Pios then, but they've also been a huge sponsor of the Pioneers. That one's going to be ball 2 inside. Here's the 2-0. And outside, ball 3. So Riser so far struggling a little bit with the placement to start out against Burroway. But conceding a walk to Burroway wouldn't be the end of the world right here. Here's the 3-0 to Burroway. And ball 4. Burroway's going to get on base after 4 straight balls. That is yet another walk conceded by the Elmira Pioneers. And it has been a worrying trend, but at the very least, a little bit less stress. So far, there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 free bases conceded for the Pioneers in 7 innings. Coach Drum said that's something he wanted his team to work on. Well, I think that's something he's still going to want them to work on. This time, strike 1. Even though Mag tried to feign that one being inside. Didn't work. Runner on first now with no outs. Bottom of the 7th. Mag so far on a base via walk and fielder's choice. That one's going to be outside, ball 1. Mag was 1 for 4 last time tonight. He's 0 for 2, but he has gone on base twice because of a walk and fielder's choice. And when he's gone on base, he scored. Scored twice, gone on base twice. 2-1 count now to Mag. That one went a little bit outside last time. Here's the 2-1. Mag, foul. 2-2 count. Ricer would like to get the first out here of the inning to try to retire Mag. Still battling through the 4, 5, 6 hitters this time around. Levi again on deck. 2-2 to Mag coming up. From the stretch, here's Riser. Hold up. Count goes full. Actually, he did. Hold on. He did go around, so strike 3. So that's why he double checked with the second umpire. My broadcaster for Batavia also thought it was a ball alongside me. Instead, that's out number 1, and that is a strikeout there for Mag, who did go around. 1 out, runner on. That will bring up Levi Aguia. Here's first pitch from the stretch from Riser. Ball 1. And Murad just wants a quick check. He felt it was a strike. And I think there's Drum at the edge of the dugout. I don't think he was super excited about that call either. 1-0. Riser, here's the 1-0. 2-0. Team recently went to Wegmans, who's a big sponsor for us, to give out some tickets for Star Wars night. We were able to meet a lot of fans. Players were able to sign some things, and it was great to interact with the local community. Remember, of course, if you're in the area, join us for Star Wars night. Here's the 2-0 now. That one's popped up. Is it in play? No, it will be a souvenir for a fan. That'll get the count to 2-1. Still, intermittent fireworks behind. And with that big flashing light of the firework, that could be a distraction for batters who are at the plate. Now it's going to be 2-1 to Levi Aguia. And 3-1. Still a runner on. You wonder whether we'll see Andrew Jung. We see a few players warming up. Whether he does want them coming from the bullpen. 3-1. And ball 4. So it'll be a second walk conceded for Riser. And that is going to put yet another runner on with 1 out. So whether it is just a lack of control from us or a really good eye from the Muckdogs, there have been over 20 walks conceded in 2 games. So, you know, that's just up for you to decide. 2 are now on with 1 out. And Jerry Reinhardt's going to be back up here. Drew a walk his last time up, funnily enough. But also, he made a diving catch a few innings ago on an incredible play. One that you might want to feature on Top 10. Gets by the third baseman. Will that send a run home? No, they're going to hold him and be safe. Base is now loaded. A very good grounder down third base. Bobby Marsh, the threat of his arm, kept the runner at third. Base is loaded, 1 out. Burroway at third. He at second. Reinhardt at first after that single. That's going to bring up Trey Bacon. No, he's going to be pinch hit for. No, whoops, I apologize. He isn't pinch hit for. He was the pinch hitter for Gavin Schrader and gets his first at bat right here. Schrader finishes the day 1 for 2 alongside a walk and 2 RBI double. Interesting choice to he was pinch running for, and now Bacon is in as a pinch hitter. Outside ball 1. And you do wonder whether Drum might want to pull in a reliever as a stopper here to try to stop the bleeding eventually, but for now, he's still trusting Riser. He's been solid from the mound, apart from those walks. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Count gets even at 1-1. Trey Bacon from Santa Fe College. He's also a two-way player, mainly playing as a hitter. Here's the 1-1. That one's a little high, 2-1. 2-1 count now. Riser looking to work himself back ahead of Bacon. Here's the 2-1. Bases loaded, 1 out from the stretch. Here's Riser. He's going to call time right as he was warming up. Inconvenient call there, but it also likely would have been a ball. So maybe that's a benefit. 2-1, the count remains. Two 1 to Bacon. Bacon lines that to center field. It's caught, but that likely scores a run. The throw, not in time. 6-4 lead for the Muckdogs. But the runners also stay at first and second. So it's a sac fly by Trey Brown that is able to bring Burroway home. Rodriguez now with 2 out. And 2 on. Has a chance to try to keep that lead going. Reiser wants to get out of the jam. Outside, ball 1. It's a good play in center field to get to that by Odom, but that was definitely an impossible throw home. That was going to be a sac fly from the moment he caught it. That one's strike 1 in the outside corner. Count goes 1-1. Bottom of the 7th, Batavia was able to expand their lead back to 6-4, but still a close ball game and a tough situation here. 2 on, 2 outs, and Reiser get out of the inning. Swing and a miss, strike 2, fooled him there. Rodriguez, I think, wanted to get all of it. He's only had 1 true at bat because he got hit and walked. He's 0 for 1 because of a strikeout. Now down 1-2, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a blooper, but caught at second to end the inning. So, in total, 1 run comes home on 1 hit, no errors. 2 get stranded on base. That'll end the inning. We'll be back after this. Aiden Blake leads off for the Pioneers. Top of the 8th underway. Last time up, he got on base and got home thanks to wild pitches. He's been a guy that Coach Drum has kept his eye on as he grounds it to short. That's picked up. Look at the hustle, though. He almost beats that out, but goes down. We saw a similar play earlier. First out here in the top of the 8th inning. Bobby Marsh comes back up. Tying run would be on deck. Good start for the inning here. We see, of course, Pichardo still trusted on the mound. He had a little shaky previous inning, but settling in with that quick out. Yoda Marsh. Base is empty. Side strike 1. Gives it to him. Today, Marsh has had a solid game. He was able to get on base and get home with a walk. 1 for 2. Yo 1. And a little bit low. I think just a tad bit outside 2. Ball 1. 1-1 count with 1 out to Bobby Marsh, top of the 8th. Marsh staying alive in the at-bat here, but again, needs to get on base to try to help the Pios. Swing and a miss there. Chopped at that one. He's now down 1-2. One-two count to Bobby Marsh. 1 out. Top of the 8th. Here's the stretch. Here's Pichardo. A little bit high. So at this time, 2-2. Marsh had to lean back there. A little bit slower than the standard heat we normally see from him. Currently 10:38 p.m. in Batavia. Here's the 2-2. That's fouled away. So Marsh stays alive in the at-bat. Can't get it in play yet. Gonna call time. That's popped up. Is it playable? No, it is not. He remains alive. Still 2-2 count with 1 out. Here's Marsh, the 2-2, ready to go. Outside ball 3. After those foul balls, Marsh works at full. Tying run on deck if Marsh can get aboard. Pioneers wanting to get back into it, but they need to just keep this offense rolling. It is done well so far, the previous 2 innings, scoring 2 runs apiece. Marsh hoping to not be run up for the second out of the inning. From the stretch, Pichardo. Lined and played to second. Throw to first in time. That's the second out of the inning. Tricky snag, but he makes the throw happen. Second out. Marsh out on that play.
Right field, number 27, and Ethan Herrera.
Herrera steps up. He had an RBI single last time. Herrera from UMass Boston, as well as teammate Aiden Blake. Now he's going to be tasked with trying to jumpstart this offense. They've got 4 outs remaining to play with before staring down the barrel of an 0-2 record. Strike 1 in the outside corner. Pichardo warming up this inning, and even though that last at-bat took a little while, gotten the first 2 outs already. Seeing some activity in the Muckdogs bullpen. Here's the 0-1. Outside ball 2. Pitch number 2 is ball number 1. 2 outs here. Ethan Herrera, the 1-1. 2 outs. That's going to be played over to first. Not fielded cleanly. So what's going to be an error on first is going to get Herrera on board. That should have been a routine ground ball, but an error keeps the inning alive. Cooper Smith comes on as a pinch hitter. He's going to replace Haynes as the DH. Tying run is now Cooper Smith. And Cooper Smith, he went 1 for 2 with an RBI in the previous game, and he was also hit by a pitch. He's a former IMG Academy most valuable player. And even though he's entering the transfer portal, he would love to impress any potential suitors for his services next season. 0-0 count, runner on, 2 outs. First pitch coming from Pichardo. A little bit slower, but in the zone, strike one. I think that fooled him. 0-1 for Cooper Smith. It reminds me a little bit of that Talladega Nights scene where Ricky Bobby comes in as a replacement driver, try to win the race for his team that was struggling and becomes a star. And you know, that is Cooper Smith's favorite movie. Does he have that Ricky Bobby magic? Herrera safe at first. Smith might need a little shake and bake. He's already got a shake from Herrera. Can he find some bake right here? The 0-1. 2 outs, a runner on. He's the tying run. Here's the pitch, the 0-1. Swinging a miss, 0-2. Haynes was 0 for 3 entering the at-bat. I think a smart change to try to go with Smith, who's been better. A total of 500 in his average and 667 OPS. But now, he's down 0-2 right now to Pichardo. 2 away, 0-2 count, one more strike to get out of the inning. Here's Pichardo from the stretch. In the dirt, ball 1. Mag keeps it in front of him. 1-2. 6-4 Muckdog lead, but that could change if Smith can find a barrel. Here's the 1-2. 2 outs, 1-2 count. On the stretch, Pichardo. Fires back at first, safe. Want to make sure that they're keeping Herrera at bay, not trying to have him steal. Because again, you might wonder if he's going to go. 2-strike count. 1-2. 2 outs. Herrera at first. Smith at the plate. Here's the pitch. Pichardo with a little bit of heat. Outside, ball 2. Just on that outside corner, but a little bit outside. 2-2 to Smith. An important at-bat for the Pios right here. Can Smith be a hero they've been looking for? They'll still have 3 more outs after this, but they'd love to not have to get to that point. Pichardo ready to go to Smith. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with the off-speed. The inning is over. So Smith comes on as a pinch hitter and ultimately strands a runner. No hit, 1 error, 1 left on base. Inning is over. We enter the bottom half of the inning. We'll be right back. More Pios baseball. 3 outs to go for them. Razors still on the mound for the Elmira Pioneers. Bottom of the 8th inning, ready to go. Still a 2-run lead for the Muckdogs, and they like to keep that advantage up. Razors been solid so far through 2 innings of work, and they want to try to finish out the game or get at least to the 9th inning. For the Muckdogs have 3 more outs. Alex Torres leads off. He grounded out back in the 6th inning. Dwyer Stadium, a beautiful night. Very good temperature. A little chilly. We see some sweatshirts in the crowd. It's actually relatively warm in the booth, which is a great thing. 0-0 count now. Torres ready to go. 0 for 3 today. There's a drive. Deep center field, but playable. And Cooper Smith, who I have to believe is there at center, is making the catch. No, it's not Cooper Smith. They didn't change center field, so Smith is actually just going to stay as the DH. Smith came on as a designated hitter. Odom remains in center. Bello and his Mambo number 5 are back at the plate. But today, he's been a Mambo for 4 so far. Grounded out and 3 flyouts, where one of them, I'd say, was pretty close to leaving the park. Outside, ball 1. So 1-0 count now for Bello. Bello wanting to get on base here. 1 for 4 in the previous game and was able to draw a walk. The total now 0 for 8 on the year. Or 1 for 8 on the year. Ooh, that was close, but he's okay. Yes, he did. Actually, he did get him. So it's not a ball. It's instead a free base. He gets on base for the first time today in the 8th inning. As he's hit by a pitch. That's yet another free base conceded by the Pioneers. And if I had $1 for every time they did, I'd be able to buy myself some Elmira Pioneers tickets. Indeed. Make sure you get some tickets for future games. This Sunday, Star Wars night, and on the 7th, come check out Free Poster and Meet the Team night. That's when the Pioneers will be back home at Dunn Field. Make sure you come check them out. 1 out, runner on. That one's going to be ball 1 right there. Just down and away. Fry ready to go. He's 1 for 3, but has a walk alongside his hit. Here's the 1-0. Fry grounds it. Gets 1 by Muzio. Muzio, a good play. Runner gets to second, though. So Muzio is able to get the out at first on a really great snag. And he's just a second late to get the runner out at second. But he does get 1 out. And that's going to leave it to 2 outs now in the inning. A very good play indeed. Trying to get and keep this scoreline for the Pioneers as they get ready for the 9th inning. Trailing 2. Now up, though, the number 3 hitter, Tyler Cano. That's one strike 1 in the outside corner. So far, Cano has gone 0 for 3, but he did get on base via hit by pitch back in the 1st. He's wanting to turn his fortunes around with a runner in scoring position. Here's the 0-1. Reiser not wanting to let that happen. Outside ball 1. That one's a very weird arcing curveball there. Almost goes as high as you'd maybe expect like a mini ephus in a way, but also very much far outside of the plate. Weird to drop back down, too hard to read. Here's the 1-1. That's going to be lined and caught at second to end the inning. A relatively quick inning after that hit by pitch. And Cano is out to retire the side. Top of the 9th, right after this. Alex Hales come on to try to close out this game. The Muckdogs lead by 2 entering the 9th inning. Top of the 9th. It's been a close game so far. After an early lead, the Pioneers crawled all the way back from a 5-run deficit to make it 5-4. They conceded one more to make it 6-4. Now Alex Hales being tasked with the save. Gil Murad leads off for the Pioneers. He's over 3 today, but they're trusting him one more time. Janae Vaughn, 2 hits. Shader, 1 hit. And getting on base at 2 other times. 2 solid bats behind. Tying run would be on deck right here. First pitch. That is low, ball 1. Hill, a local player, and also from Niagara Community College. And at this stage, they are going to want him to try to close out this final inning and get himself the save. Here's the pitch, the 1-0. That is strike 1. That one landing in the zone this time. That one more, I think, of a sinker breaking the other way. 1-1 to Murad. See someone warming up in the Muckdogs bullpen, but they want Hale to try to finish it. Here's the 1-1 to Murad. Outside ball 2, very close. A couple groans from the Muckdog crowd. 2-1 to Murad. Coach Drum just needs base runners. It doesn't matter if they get on via walk or hit by pitch. Right now, he just wants to get that tying run at the plate. Here's the 2-1 to Murad. That one's outside ball 3. So Murad very ahead in the count here. He's got a pitch to play with. Maybe does Hale go for the next batter? 2 dangerous hitters coming up, of course. Shader and Vaughn. Here's the 3-1. Now for Gil Murad. Murad pops that one up. Should be the first out of the inning. Hale under it and makes the play. That gets a roar from the crowd. 2 outs to go in last chance saloon. Or else the Pioneers are going to be shut out to dry. 1 out now in the 9th inning. Janae Vaughn steps up here. Shader is now the potential tying run. And there's going to be a pitching meeting. Now I wonder whether if they're going to bring out a lefty for a platoon change. Again, facing a strong batter like Vaughn, who is lefty, that wouldn't be, I think, behind them. I think maybe he's saying, listen, I trust you, but I also trust the lefty. And yeah, it looks like it, unless that is one of the players from before. Yes, we will see a pitching change after just 1/3 of an inning. They are bringing out a left-handed pitcher. So Hale's day is done. After literally not conceding a single thing. The reason, though, it's because they want the platoon. They're bringing out a lefty. Number 27, Carlos. Okay, cool. No, so they're bringing out a righty. So the question is maybe Hale is injured or something. Because Carlos Rodriguez is a righty. Why would you make a pitching change if you weren't bringing out a lefty for a lefty hitter? Now at best, Hill would be recorded with a hold alongside Pichardo. Again, thank you, Hilliard, for sponsoring the Pioneers. Present on the hat. And it sponsored the fireworks in Game 1.
here, please, now, 27, Carlos Rodriguez.
So Carlos Rodriguez from Tallahassee has been called on to try to close the game. Needs to get 2 outs in the first batter he's facing, Janae Vaughn. Coach said a fun way that he remembers that the Janae spelling is pronounced Janae and not Janai is to think of the old Forrest Gump movie. Well, the old Tom Hanks movie, Forrest Gump. And think about the way he says Janae. So fun little tidbit from Coach and a tip for any fans who want to pronounce his name correctly. Janae Vaughn, he's been hot tonight, really hot, on fire so far as he's been able to get 2 hits. One of the only Pioneers to do so. And I know the Pioneers are hoping that his hot bat continues. He struck out back in the third, but after that, he's been locked in. If he gets on base as a runner, he would be the new runner and bring a tying runner up at the plate. Logan Shader probably be that batter. That could potentially be a tying run for the Pioneers to try to get back into this ball game. Question is Carlos Rodriguez ready to go? 1 out, empty bases. Vaughn, Rodriguez, the pitcher's duel, and batter ready to go at hand. First pitch from Rodriguez. Outside ball 1. 1-0 count now to Vaughn. Draws that first pitch. I think the bullpen is going to be a little bit quieter now. Swing and a miss. Vaughn wanted to get that, but he just misses. Well, strike 1. Here's now the 1-1 from Vaughn. Ball 2. 2-1 and 1 out. Janae staying focused. Here's the 2-1. Inside. And, oof, nearly hit him. 3-1 count now. Vaughn could try to get on base via walk. If you're Vaughn, I think you're wanting to take this one. And at worst, you're just risking a full count. Here's now the 3-1 from Rodriguez. There's a stretch. Swing and a miss. And he wanted to try to take that one deep. He misses, so the count goes full. That might have been ball 4. Rodriguez, it's a little more of a wind-up rather than just a stretch. But either way, he's set. I think he's got his sign he likes. Let's take the nod. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 4. And Vaughn is able to get on. And Shader's going to come up with as the tying run with 1 out. Vaughn got a full count and got on base. One on. Shader's the tying run. And so far today, Shader has a hit, drew a walk, and got on base via error. 1 on, 1 out. That's going to be grounded to first. Go to 2. Back to 1. Not in time. That throw is a second or 2 late, but it could have ended the game. So on that fielder's choice, there are now 2 outs, tying run at the plate. Zach Odom, final shot here. 1 out to go. So it's actually going to be Chmielewski coming in. Kyle pinch hitting with 2 outs and a runner on. A stressful at bat indeed. 0-0 count. Inside, ball 1. 2 outs here. Last chance saloon ready to close down for the night. Chmielewski Yeah, Chmielewski, I'm still not fully good on his thing. But he was 1 for 2 last game. It's up to him. The Pios fouled away. Count goes 1-1. Pios' hopes rest on his shoulders. He's the tying run with 2 outs. He got on base via walk and went 1 for 2 last time. And what a thrilling opener it's been for the Muckdogs at their home stadium. And what a game, too, it's been. Now the first one on the road for the Pios. First pitch. High, ball 2. So Kyle Chmielewski. Again, I'm going to be messing up that name so much, I'm just going to call him Kyle the rest of the at-bat. Ready to go. 2-1. The number 37. The Pios. There's a drive, but to center. Is that it? That is. He finds it. And the Muckdogs improve the 2-0. The Pioneers go down one more time. This time on the road. 6-4. And with that, the game is over. The Pioneers win it in the top half of the inning.
That is the end of the final score. Elmira Pioneers 4.
And with that, the Pioneers take a second win to start their season 2-0, while the Elmira Pioneers drop to 0-2 on the road. They gave a better fight. It was a 6-4 victory for the Muckdogs. In the end, the losing pitcher is going to be Hunter Kendall. He conceded the lead, and the Pioneers never got it back. The winning pitcher, by proxy, the run being scored in the bottom of that inning, would have been Chris Isaac, who'd come on in the third inning. So he records a win, and Rodriguez, for getting the final 2 batters out, gets a save. He conceded just 1 walk and was able to face 3 batters to retire the side. The final scoreline. So in total, the Pioneers were able to score 6 runs. On just a few hits. We're going to stay on the air for a minute, likely doing the fireworks. We'll be right back, and I'll give you the final scorelines in 1 second. Enjoy the fireworks. Thank you for watching Pioneers Baseball. We'll catch you tomorrow at home. I do apologize for the viewers. It would just be way too hard to get the camera to broadcast the fireworks live. They are over to the right side of the field. But, again, thank you for watching. Pioneers Baseball returns tomorrow as the Pioneers will once again be at home. Stay tuned for that stream. It will most likely be on YouTube. And again, apologies for all the delays, all the communications. But in the end, 6 runs for the Muckdogs, only 4 for the Pios. Thank you and have a good night. And if you are traveling, travel home safely. Thank you for watching Elmira Pioneer Baseball. I'm Taylor Storthy. We'll see you next time.